must have been a first mover. That's her thing. She's always been going. There's like two things that we've identified as claims, and we've spent 3 talks going over the Old Testament as a reliable source of books. Ooh. So, but I think we're going to go now to the universe.
Hang on,
which I think
the blinds are wrong, Reed.
Yeah, you're multiplied by 10.
Oh, the blinds are wrong. What does that mean?
Should be 1 and 2 instead of 10 and 20.
Fuck it. No, I'll change it for next hand.
I'm going to be out on the first hand.
Okay.
My bad.
Should we all just check it to the river?
No.
Because this is going to be... It's, okay.
So, you don't like it, bitch. All right.
Well, I'll do my part.
No, I'm fine doing whatever you guys want.
Because this could get really big really fast.
I'll just check.
Hang on. I fucked up something. Now it's not on spectator mode.
Who's playing Chopin?
My son is in the background playing the piano, but I couldn't tell you if that's Chopin or not.
That's Chopin. Chopin Nocturne, I believe.
He didn't want any lessons. I mean, we tried doing lessons and he just was bored of it. He taught himself on YouTube. We don't tell him you got to sit down and do it. The piano's there. He walks over there and sits down and plays it whenever he wants to.
Interesting. Well, telling me sounds good. I mean, that's pretty good for Chopin. I play the piano too, so.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Pair races. Okay. Are we changing the...
I think it should be changed now.
There we go.
But hang on.
What else is wrong? Hey,
I'm trying to
green
change it.
too.
I'm trying to change it to spectator mode. Okay. Update on next hand. No. Fuck me. Hang on. Pause.
You can pause the game?
Yeah.
I love that ending.
I'll be right back.
Dun. Come on, Jackson, do it. You didn't do it.
This can't be enabled when there are players already seated or requesting a seat.
What can't be enabled?
The spectator mode.
Oh,
you need spectator mode in order to stream?
Yeah, I mean, ideally. Damn it.
Maybe you don't have a spectator yet.
I had my stream as a spectator.
Okay.
Let me see if it's still.
Yeah.
he's gonna see my hand. That's right.
No.
Well, that was a good way for me to get 60 quick chips.
Let's try this. Let's try. Everyone leave your seat and we'll redo it.
Leave the game. Come
leave
back
the
in.
game or leave the
come
seat.
back. Oh.
Yeah, just leave the seat. And we'll
Leave
just
the
check.
seat.
Just check through this hand.
Okay. But come back in at our original buy-ins.
Yeah.
All right.
Or just fold. Yeah.
Okay, how do I quit in this? I've never.
We're gonna just close the
click,
it down.
Click leave seat.
Okay, I left the seat.
All right.
Okay. Confirm.
All right, you leave your seat.
I thought I did.
Click leave seat.
You sure you want to leave your seat? Yes.
You should be leaving next hand. That should be that. Okay, now if I changed the thing, spectator mode, okay. There, it worked that time. All right. Let me change my stack. 400. Oh, 45.
Can we come back in now, Reed?
Yeah, now come back in. Sorry about that.
What stack size do we put in?
Your
Put
original.
the
one.
original in.
Okay.
My son.
There we go. Oh, hey, Nathan.
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
Nathan.
Anthony, were you talking about you said you were going to talk to a Catholic about their views? Is that what you were talking about when I joined?
Yeah. I have 3 chats so far on Zoom with a childhood friend's mom.
Okay.
She's old. She's fairly old. She's like in her maybe her 80s.
Oh, wow.
70s. Yeah. But it's a good example of using SE with a family or a friend, which we don't have many examples of. So I think it's gonna make for a good series. It's a really cool discussion. It's neat to see, like when I rolled out the Flyman example.
Yeah.
She was confused about what I meant by unaided, because when I rolled it out, she's like, "Yeah, I believe that." And I was like, "Excuse me?" So I had to like repeat.
Are you sure?
And she's like, "Well, like," and she started going into like the Wright brothers, how they actually found a way to fly, and they could have just discovered that earlier. I'm like, no, I mean unaided.
Like Superman. Yeah. That's what you gotta say.
So I was like, he literally like,
Sometimes
flying.
Doug says like buck naked or something.
I think I
Ran
even
off the rim.
I think I sort of maybe implied that he took a shot. I can't remember what I did, but it's really interesting because I rolled that out. Oh, what?
Okay.
So I rolled it out. She pushed back on it. I recognized that she was pushing back on it. I was like, can I find it interesting that you were willing to participate in it up to a certain point, and now you seem reluctant to participate in the thought experiment. And I'm bringing this up because if I don't, I'm worried that I might become frustrated if I just sit on it and I don't surface it. So I was like, it's just truth coming out,
Yeah.
So
Did she say why she doesn't want to proceed?
Well,
with the thought
she
experiment?
did, because the book, I cannot produce the book.
Oh, but you can't produce it.
Well, meaning I can't produce it to her at the moment to say, well, yes, here's the book that talks about the comparable things. She's not willing to imagine or pretend. Yes,
I've gotten that a lot. Like when I have a friend of my mother's who I spoke with over Zoom, and she also she just wouldn't consider the thought experiment. She's like, well, that's not possible, Oh, okay. I mean, that's a thought experiment.
Well, I mean, what makes this not possible, but your claim possible might be a good way to go.
Yeah. Well, no, in my case, I wasn't doing the Flying Man. That was before I had listened to much of Doug.
Oh, yeah.
But
now you've had enough.
But it was like suppose that God isn't real. How would you explain? Oh, well.
Oh, what would it look
ridiculous.
like if there wasn't any God?
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
right.
It doesn't make any sense.
But I would just say, are you saying that this is a limit of your imagination? Like, are you incapable of considering it, or it's just too far-fetched to be the case? Like, I would just nail in on what you're noticing and verbalize it.
Yeah, that's where you might bring in the stand-in for Christianity, Mormonism, right? Because that's like a real belief, like 200 years ago.
I've got the book that I presented to the Mormons with the warning on it too. It's like
this book is true.
So I've got this at the ready in case I need to go to that with her. But what for?
Don't blame me. It was Reed.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I can follow it back. Fuck you, Reed.
Okay.
So, anyways, if she does continue to push back on it and we stay on that topic, I'm going to ask if she would be willing to consider that it's possible that her and I could actually write a book that contained these things and did everything that we see in this other holy book. Could we actually write a book that 2,000 years from now people would actually think is true?
Yeah.
For the very same reasons that you're using with yours.
Right.
So, she wants to go in a different direction now.
Okay. You made it sound like she wants to talk like more philosophical God stuff. Like
she's either like deist, and then she's like this offshoot of Christianity. So it's like, okay, we got two main claims here that are related.
you know what? That's a no. This is just my honest opinion. That's a Mott and Bailey.
Well, we're going after both of them. We're going to explore both of them.
It's like you're equivocating. Like you'll go back to the philosophical God when you feel like you're threatened and you can't defend the land. But what you really want is that productive land, the Bailey, which is the God that you believe in and all the religious stuff.
Well, here's what I was thinking about doing with she wants to go after, like, she now says that, well, she's always said that the universe had to have had a first cause. So what I was thinking about doing is asking if we can list out if we could imagine a list of 5 or 10 explanations for the universe.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yeah.
So you're born, you learn that there's a cosmos from other people, and then what goes through your mind? Like, at one point, would you agree that you were at, I don't know, or I wonder how this all came to be?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one option, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe another option is, well, maybe a demigod created it. Maybe it's a simulation. Maybe this is an alien thing. Maybe this was naturally caused. Maybe this was always here.
Yes.
Maybe there was a first cause, but it was a natural cause.
Right.
So let's list all these things out, and then we'll also add your explanation to the list too. And then, can you tell me how you excluded these, or how did you get to this when there's all these other options available? Because I'm over here at, I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know is an honest answer.
And I'm willing to go to any of those, including yours, if you can help me get there. So I'm thinking about, I don't know how else other, to go after or explore deism or a first cause creator than that, maybe.
Well, this is just my personal opinion, but like, I find that interesting. I mean, Doug has said this on this show a number of times, but I think it's accurate. Yeah, he said it, but I think it's actually right. Like, it's a long step to go from deism to, Roman Catholic, right? Yeah. It's one thing to believe in some kind of like abstract God somewhere. That's
she narrowed it down to Catholicism from the 3,000. Like, she recognized that there were 3,000 in there. So yeah, it's amazing that she was able to go from deism to, it is amazing that people can go from that to that. It's got to be a pretty compelling story or something, right? Filling some need.
I mean, like with first cause, I just grant it to them usually. Like, okay, so God created the universe. Now what?
Do you go like which God at that point? Like this?
No, I'll leave it up to them. I'll just basically say, now what? Now, what follows from this? Does this God care about? The old Hitchens line. Does
where's
God care about us?
Give me the doctrine now, basically.
Yeah.
Where does this go next? So that's where the doctrine comes in, which are just claims.
They are claims. Interesting thing about Catholicism specifically is there's like a lot of focus on tradition and just the church, like how it's been over the past 1,000 years.
Yeah,
or 2,000 years.
That's a very powerful theme throughout all this.
And it's interesting, because like most apologists, you don't hear a lot of Catholic apologists. You'll hear more like Protestant ones who are always talking about the scripture, but like Catholics seem to believe that they got the real deal,
Oh yeah. So do the LDS Church and the J-Dubs and the Seventh-day Adventists.
Yeah, it's funny. My family. I grew up Catholic, and I was talking to my mother. I don't know, a few months ago. We were talking about religion, and she made a claim. She said, "Well, that Martin Luther, he was mentally handicapped." Like, really? Like, how do you know that? Like,
because it's convenient and it makes me feel good. Because I heard it once and it met all my needs, and I never thought about it again until now.
Yes, it was a perfect. Yeah, right.
God damn, the human mind is just fucking amazes me.
I had a real good time talking to Scott Clifton the other day.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
saw
watched
that.
most of that live.
Yeah.
It was
He's an
great.
interesting guy. I'd never heard of him, and he's
He's been
quite
around.
knowledgeable.
He floats in and out of the
Okay.
atheist sphere. You know.
Yeah, really good chat.
$40 pages. No, what did he say?
40 pages a day. Yeah. You
I find that
memorize.
hard to believe. They must be really big
But
font.
like you said, you know, you do it long enough and you just get good at it. You need to do it. You know, the first time you do it, it's 9 hours, and then you get it down to 8, and then maybe you hit a 10, and then before you know it, it's 4, and then you're
Like most of
skimming
those
it.
pages has to be blocking. Like Scott walks to the left by the door, and I can't imagine Times New Roman 12 font.
But I bet you probably get a sense of where the cameras are and the shots they're capable of, and so I would naturally want to turn to the right at this moment because I'm saying this line that I know that camera is going to want to catch. So you probably start. You're probably thinking about the choreography too as you're learning the words. I would imagine.
What?
God damn.
What'd you have? What'd
You
you
had ace
have?
two?
What the
Three of
hell?
a kind.
What the hell?
He must have
What the
ace two
hell?
or king
Three of
two
a
or
kind.
something.
Does that be a 2 pair?
He had
I
a
had
full
a full
house.
house. I had a full
I-
house.
Oh, yeah, full house.
I
Oh.
guess I should have suspected
Threes over
that.
deuces.
But yeah, the threes,
Ugh.
even if I didn't have a full house, it would have beat.
I got to show you a picture, Matt. If I could ever find it.
Picture of
It's me dressed as Joseph.
Joseph, like the father of Jesus.
Yes. This was every Christmas when I was a kid for like 7-10 years in a row. We would reenact the Christmas story in the Bible with Joseph.
Oh, you too?
and-
No, I had to do that too in the Catholic school.
Yeah. Oh, we did it. We did it at the Catholic school, and we would do it at Christmas on Christmas Eve with the family.
Oh, okay.
Where is it?
I don't appreciate you giving Matt all my chips.
I
Reed.
know. I'm sorry. I don't appreciate it. God,
It'll be easier if I pull it off of my computer. So hold on a
that
second.
was dumb.
How do I get this to myself? Facebook Messenger.
Hey, good.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
I've been waiting for the
Guys.
table to fill up so I can go to the bathroom.
Doug, I assumed anytime you were in front of the green screen, you just wore a diaper.
Or have a bucket.
Yeah.
What do you have, Reed?
He's
Just
so
tell me.
aggressive tonight. It's like
Just
he's- It's like he's playing like he's angry.
he's on tilt.
Are you angry, Reed? Did you have a tough day?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Got the picture. What do I have? I got nothing here.
Call.
Can you see it?
Gonna lose to another full house, Reed?
That's me. That's me as Joseph with Mary, and there's baby
Oh.
Jesus right there.
Wow.
Who
You look
played
like a
baby
statue.
Jesus? Is that a doll or is that like a real baby?
It was a real baby. That was my sister, I think. Well, the look on my face is just crazy. I'll put that on my Instagram around the holidays.
Oh, you had Jax on him.
I forgot
That
to.
makes sense.
What was today's
Oh,
holiday? It's some Catholic Mary's Assumption or something.
The Assumption of Mary.
Ascent-
That's right. Yeah,
That's right.
Assumption or Ascension?
Assumption. No. This is important Catholic doctrine, Doug. In
What's an
Catholic,
assumption?
nice.
so the Catholic teaching.
Oh, you would have beat me. You would have beat me.
The Catholic
Reed.
teaching is that Mary was assumed into heaven, meaning her whole body went. It wasn't just spiritual.
Okay. But
Yeah,
that
and-
Ascension would work too then.
Well, no.
Does
at
it say
least
she
as
went
I-
up?
Believe me, I drilled in Catholic doctrine my whole childhood. So like that was a distinction between the ascension of Jesus, which was spiritual, right? Like at least that's what they said, and that Mary
No,
was.
the Ascension of Jesus was physical as well.
No, not by what my sister Veronica taught me.
She's wrong because it's in the Bible.
Religion.
The Bible's never wrong.
Was Mary always a virgin?
That's
Not after. Until the first time. What, Reed? You got a hand every hand?
Maybe.
Can't see with these fucking things.
Is that so? There's no concept of that in Protestantism, like Mary's Assumption.
No, Mary's basically just the hole that Jesus came out of.
See, I was much more diplomatic.
Try that line when you're talking with your friend's mother.
The hole. Do this too when you say it, Doug. Look through it when you say it for added effect.
No, Mary she's nice and all, a good mother probably. But
let me ask you, like, why is it important that Mary was a virgin?
Because of the religions that came prior to Christianity. It's like there's other deities prior to Christianity that was the case. So the authors had to pen that in order to make it sound beefy.
Has anyone here read the book Sex at Dawn?
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't.
What'd you have, Reed? What'd you have?
I heard an interview with the guy who wrote it.
Oh wow, look at that! Woo.
Damn.
Well,
man.
Sex at Dawn is a fantastic book. It's probably one of my favorite books. Absolutely in my top 5 of my favorite books.
Okay, that's high praise. I'll have to read it. I've been meaning to.
What
read
about
it.
the premise?
So the premise of the book, well, it's about sexuality, human sexuality, and how we kind of, as a society, have like sculpted sexuality. I'm gonna try to see what do I want to do. I want to call and
We've sculpted sexuality, like it's a construct.
Well, the idea of marriage and monogamy certainly is, and anything else for that matter that has a label, some sort of ideological attribution to what we're doing with our relationships. They're all made up by society and groups of people that come up with concepts for things.
Yeah. Damn, that's deep.
I want to fold. And so this book, it's just about that, and about, it starts off, well, it has a lot of like anthropology arguments in there. Mm-hmm. And one of them was like, when we were basically like one of our more common ancestors are like bonobos.
Yeah.
Right. And they have sex all the time for like almost everything, like to say I'm sorry and to say I love you, but also to say like, how you doing? Like the average bonobo is doing it all day long. And chimpanzees are a little different. Anyway, the book like compares and contrasts those things, and then they make this argument that it wasn't until
really
the
give a 5, Anthony.
He's gotta have a 5.
Sorry,
he has to. I think you're right. He has to. I'm curious.
He might even have a full house. Yep, 5 and 9. Because he bet so big right at the beginning. It was more than a pair.
Yeah, but I just had to confirm it. Got to call.
You gotta keep him honest,
Oh, that felt so good. That felt so good.
So anyway, he compares chimpanzees and bonobos, and then you said,
essentially, there's an argument to be made that it wasn't until humans, around the exact same time, humans started cultivating land and settling down, as opposed to being hunter-gatherer. We stopped being tribal so much. There we go.
Well, somebody said like you could only maintain so many relationships or personal relationships with people.
So that's Dunbar's number?
That's Dunbar's number, 150.
Yeah, and that's mostly like how many people
Doug just died.
Know and be familiar with.
I think Doug just died. Trying to look around the corner there.
He said he needed to go pee at some point. So he was waiting for more people.
Okay. He died like he lived, having to
if he doesn't come back in 5 minutes, I'm calling the police.
Let's see.
Yeah, Dunbar's number isn't much about sexuality. It's more about just like
keeping
humans
tabs on
evolved to
people.
live in tribes that were maybe about that size because they can keep track of that many people.
Yeah. So anyway, the idea is, and this is all tying into virginity. This is the reason why I brought it up. I think once we started settling on land and cultivating land, and this book makes this argument. It's pretty persuasive. Is when marriage and the idea of marriage started, and when that happened, when the idea for marriage started, it became like interwoven with religion to reinforce it, which was done so by men in order to use it as a transaction between houses as a way to acquire more land. So you could trade and do deals now with people in a way that wasn't technically slavery.
Was that because of like a dowry? Like you would pay a dowry for your wife or something, or for their daughter or your daughter? That? Remember back in the day, like that was a thing.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah,
I think so.
Some even today in some countries.
3 cows for a wife or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this book basically just says that the whole idea of relationships as we know it today, even relationships in this like monogamous way, was founded and created by religion as a means to control land. Yeah.
Was that because why? Because there were no governments, or like what? I don't.
It was a great way to keep order and peace, but also to maintain dominance, especially if you could like compete with other houses by marrying other houses to get more land to compete better.
Oh.
Yeah, it made them part of your family, right?
Yeah.
Does that happen in all human cultures? We all do that, regardless of where we.
Really curious to know what Doug thinks of all that, but I couldn't possibly explain it.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure about that.
Think about what?
Just the whole argument for the book.
Are there any
for the first half of the book
evolutionary models in that book?
Yes, they go through a lot of biology and anatomy.
Yeah,
a lot of anatomy.
Yeah,
it's kind of
like,
amazing.
A typical evolutionary argument you'll hear is that, like, for a woman, right? Women don't know when they're fertile, right? And so,
what?
Like if you have multiple partners, you don't know who the father is, right? And to the extent that humans have a natural desire to want to perpetuate, high quality genes, from like a good mate, that it leaves some uncertainty. So there's maybe a bit more of a desire for a woman to have a monogamous relationship, possibly.
Yeah, read this book and we'll talk.
Okay,
it's so good.
That's blowing my mind.
I can think of something about that written in the book, but it's so off in the weeds into sexuality. It's probably a bit much. Yeah, so we'll just do something else. Fantastic book, though. Love it.
Yeah, people are watching just now. They didn't get knocked out. Doug, Anthony, and Matt. We had an error at the beginning.
Right. Yeah. You are marked.
Yes. Scarlet letter. Scarlet number. How did you contact Garrett and who's the other one?
Twitter.
Aaron on Twitter.
You can
I'll do
double
email.
check. Yeah.
Garrett. Aaron. Holger. That's cheap. That's fair.
And I'm not sure if we'll see Dan again.
Which
Based
Dan?
on
why?
objectively Dan, just because I don't think he was very confident in his poker abilities.
okay.
Oh, I missed him.
He did
Oh,
well
yeah,
though.
it was
didn't
fun.
he? In the end,
Did
didn't
he play
he like?
last week?
Oh no, he went broke.
He went
He ended
broke
up
a
borrowing
couple
some money, I
times.
think. Yeah, but he was having fun, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's kind of weird in Catholicism. If you just compare it to Protestant versions of Christianity, they have a real thing about Mary. Like
Where? In
Well,
in
she's like
Catholicism.
the number one
Catholicism?
saint,
Yeah.
right?
It's actually really big here in San Antonio. There's like a big Mother Mary and Mother God. Yeah, there's all these shrines for the Virgin Mary.
I once read that you know, one of the conceits of Christianity early on was that it was still like a monotheistic religion,
Damn.
right?
One like
But that the Catholic Church started adding saints back in over the years because people like to pray to the different saints, kind of like
Yeah.
they like to pray to different gods in polytheistic religions. So it's
Yep.
kind of like half and half, actually.
How many saints were there to pray to? I can't even remember, but I remember collecting the little badges, basically. They're about this size, like a little inscription on them.
Yeah.
It was like the saints, the history of the saints,
Yeah,
when they were born.
Saint
died.
Anthony and Saint, yeah.
Yeah.
That's your city, right? San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Do Protestant religions like have any conception of saints? Is that like a thing? Or
No.
like
Nope.
No. And they don't think that papal infallibility. What do they think about that? They must think that that's just
they think that's
crazy,
ridiculous.
the craziest
So then
thing.
that's as ridiculous as transubstantiation.
I never heard any of those criticisms until like the last 10 years or so. Like it doesn't seem like it's really that verbalized.
Mhm.
Yeah.
in-
No.
in
Protestants view
mainstream culture.
Protestants view Catholics as idol worshiping heathen, basically,
Mm.
because of all the statues and altars are holy and all that stuff.
The chalice, they raise
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
chalice up, and here's the
tabernacle.
bread
Holy
and the
water.
blood. It turns that's the actual body of Christ right
Did-
there.
Yeah.
Did you all
You're
have
consuming
much?
Christ?
Did you all have much like comparative religion type things between?
Not until my freshman year of college at the community college.
Oh, so not at all in your religious education, like in your Catholic.
Catholic schools aren't real big
Catechism.
into comparative religion.
No,
I mean-
I didn't even get it in.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a little bit in high school. Ooh, I won that one. Okay. Yeah, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit in high school, but it wasn't until college. The comparative religions course was just like mind opening for me. Like I'd always
Yeah.
thought it, but to see it written down and like structured, like, oh yes, all these
Yeah.
religions. It's so
Yeah.
obvious.
It really makes
Yeah.
it more obvious.
I
Yeah.
went to a few Hindu temples in high school for a comparative religions class, and that opened my eyes for sure.
Did
Mm.
you go to a cat or a religious school, Reed?
No,
It's interesting. They have a comparative religion. Is that common?
probably not. It was a private school in Chattanooga.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Buddhism or Hinduism is just like for people that they just can't go so far as to go to atheist route.
You
It's
know,
they just can't
Depends
go
on where
beyond
you
it.
start, right?
I went to a Catholic high school in addition to grade school, and
Mm.
I actually had to take a class in morality, and I remember in the class they were comparing different like moral systems. So they had Catholicism, and they had like atheistic humanism, and they had like I think there were
Wow.
6 total that they compared, and they had like a description of each, and we were supposed to talk and discuss it. I'm like, I don't know, this atheistic humanism sounds pretty good. Like, why don't we do that?
Yeah, what's wrong with this? Like, this makes more sense. How did this get to the bottom of the list? I went to the church where I grew up for my friend's funeral, or I don't know, whatever you call it. Was it a funeral?
Yeah.
service
Yeah.
for him. And I noticed that they removed like the first third of the pews, roughly. I don't know exactly, but there was a big chunk of the pews missing from the front. And then they moved the altar way forward in those new spaces.
Oh.
And I was like, what's going on here? And somebody said, well, it's to bring the priest closer to the people. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I was thinking, well, you're probably trying to make it look less empty.
Yeah, they've had a lot of changes over the years. I don't know the last time you went to mass, but
Oh, that was probably the last time, a couple of years ago.
like they changed all the words, you know, like
Really?
so
They simpler language.
every now and again when I actually go, like, yeah, like I don't know what to say because they changed like the script. You
Oh,
know?
I didn't notice some of the responses were different, like just slightly off by a few words. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
You know, the one that always got me, like from a very young age, like from the 3rd grade, there was a script that you used to say, like everyone in
I probably know it.
in the church would say this, right? They'd say, the priest would say something about God. You know, we praise God. And it is right to give him thanks and praise. Is what everyone's supposed to say. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Every time
Think
I would
about-
say, I can't believe these people are
Think
saying
about what you're saying. It is right to give thanks and praise. And then there's like 3 more repetitions, right?
Yeah.
Or very. Yeah. It's insidious when you think about it. Well, I view it as insidious, but it's people go, right? They're
Yeah.
drawn to it. What are they getting out of it?
Hope, meaning, and purpose.
community, hope, meaning, and purpose. Yeah.
Answers to those questions, right?
When I visited a Baptist church, listening to the lyrics of one of the Psalms, I really got thrown by, "Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb?" I was like, oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it sounds pretty graphic.
I don't know, what is it like. Why did they have to be a blood sacrifice in Christian theology? Like,
More brutal.
Maybe
Like-
because meat was really rare and like valuable, and it would be foolish to waste it. So like it had added importance or something. So by default, it's a valuable commodity. And then like there's something, primitive about giving that up to some force
Yeah.
that you think is up there.
shouldn't that be like a sign though that they were leaning heavily on Judaism?
Yeah,
Well,
another
they admit
pilgrimage.
it. They admit. I mean, Christians admit, I think, don't they, that
Yeah.
this all came from the Jewish stuff came first. But it's a new covenant, right? Something like that.
I love listening to Jews talk about Christian belief sometimes. They're like, I don't know what they got.
I've never heard it.
Jesus was
I-
never anointed. Like,
I'd
he
love
was
to hear
supposed to have
that.
an army. He was supposed to conquer, like the land of Judea.
Who
He
talks
never
about
did
that?
Jews.
Who Where? Like, I want to listen to that.
Oh, I think
I
I
wanna
listened
hear
to one on Doug's channel one time. He was talking about that. Doug
Ah.
asked him, well, like, what's your view of why, why isn't Jesus like what the Christians claim? It's like, well, he was never anointed. Like the Messiah was supposed to like actually conquer land. He was going to be like a real king, not just like a spiritual king. And obviously, he never did that, right?
Are we boring you guys with our Catholic Christian talk?
I can't stand religion conversations
Really?
within atheist communities. It seems completely stupid to me.
Ah.
I love you too, Reed.
That's great.
I thought we were away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were done.
I thought we were what, done?
Yeah. Good
You
point.
keep bringing me back in.
Yeah, that's actually the one thing that I feel like I never truly resonated with the atheist community, and I struggle with the identity construct of that label and applying that to me, because I'm not
Mhm.
really in a particularly religious place of the world. Like most people around me
Yeah.
don't care about it, don't talk about it very much. It's not very common. And
We have a different religion out there in Portland.
You know what it's more for, though, Nathan, for me? It's to show people who may not know what an atheist is, or they're just looking into that shit,
Right.
to know one. That's all.
I'm speaking from from pure self-interest here, self-interested motivation. But I see what you mean. I mean, it's still interesting to me. I mean, I still like to listen to it. I wasn't bored personally. And nor
Oh, I
did
can't.
nor
I
did
can't
hate
listen.
listening to it.
I can't listen to debates or anything like. What was it? Smalley was on with Kanekal again or something on
Oh,
one of those
sure.
channels. I could take 20 seconds of it, and I
listen
couldn't
to
take
the
any more.
atheist experience every once in a while, just because I like the psychological component to it. I'm listening to it for the psychological component, like why is someone resisting versus whether or not they accept something and what they would need to accept.
What is the host like? If the host had rephrased it this way, it may have been a little bit of better.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear
That's
those?
how I'm listening to it. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
interested in that.
That's how we should all be listening to those. Any conversation is like, okay, what's going on here? What went right? What's going wrong?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
where did this go off the rails? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that shit too. I love listening to that stuff just for that.
Hey, look who showed up. Harry.
I'm
Good
here.
morning. Good morning,
Hello.
Harry.
Hello, hello.
And you're squished as usual.
Again.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still squished.
No, that's just the way he looks, Diamond.
I'm just a fat boned man.
I think you say something else.
I'm
Good
gonna
to see you
try-
here, Aaron. I see you got my email.
Did I not invite you, Aaron, or how did that not work?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Aaron.
Can't hear you, Aaron.
I may have. I think I invited you on my Cordial Curiosity account
Okay.
on Twitter and not my regular account.
Is my video working for anybody else?
Not right
No.
now. It's your black square.
No.
Ah, it shows it's working for me.
Well,
It's that Aussie
Oh, there we
internet
go.
stuff.
It is now?
No,
Yeah, I got a different
No.
angle and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I see it now.
I don't see him.
Me neither.
I do. I see you. You got like a blue screen with clouds in the background and an ocean.
Yeah.
I believe you, man. I don't know why we can't see him. Can't see Aaron either.
I can see Aaron also. Nope, now I can't.
There we go.
nope.
Oh,
It's
now
not
he's
here.
gone. He was there just for a second, and he looked good. He looked normal.
Blast. Okay, I'm going to go back to squash vision.
There
No,
you
this
go.
is good.
Oh,
I
that's
see you. I
good.
see-
That was
no,
good.
Oh, you saw me.
Go back.
Darn
You really-
Go back, but then flip
Look-
it horizontally, and don't change the aspect ratio because that would look good.
Yeah.
So can you see? Hang on, I'm going to wait a few moments because I think it might take a while to pipe through, and then it sends.
Say something, Aaron. No.
Oh,
still can't hear you.
call it.
Well, family.
Indeed.
Harry, I still see a black square.
Oh, goodness gracious. How did it just turn?
Did you mean the bet 10, Harry?
Yes. Did I mean to bet 10 and then he folds?
Clever, Doug, clever.
I mean, I would have taken
Got
that
more
money off you,
information
but now
out
that
of
you
him.
did it on purpose.
Just by the answer.
Well, because you said you're filling around with your video and you say, goodness
Yeah,
gracious. And then you bet 10 right away. So I wasn't sure if that was an anger,
All right.
fat
I'm going back to
thumb,
squash
fat
vision.
finger thing.
Were you gonna let him take it back?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's serious.
That is serious.
Oh, I saw the movie. What was the movie? Free Guy. I thought it'd be a stupid movie, but it was actually very good.
Free guy.
Free
with-
guy.
I want to
Ryan-
see that. Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
is hilarious.
Yeah, all Canadians.
He's just
are
playing
hilarious.
his same character in every movie at this point, but I'm still not bored of his character yet. He's pretty. Have you seen the Deadpool movies?
Oh yeah,
Those
big
are
fan.
funny too. Yeah. I just saw Suicide Squad.
Was that any good?
Nice. That was good. I love that.
I did enjoy it. I think I'm gonna host like a watch party at my house since it's on HBO, so I'm probably gonna do that at some point.
Okay, is there any nudity in it?
Is there? There
Better
might
not.
be.
Oh!
There's a part. There's a scene where at a bar, and there might be.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, there absolutely is. There absolutely is nudity. Oh,
Male or female?
Yeah. Wow. That's
So what's
one
happened
card
there?
in that
Thank
thing.
you, thank you,
Bec-
thank you.
Yeah.
I should have. Oh, okay, maybe not.
Because I'm thinking of taking my daughter who just turned 18.
I should have bet more earlier.
All right.
She just.
There's
just
definitely
turned
adult
18.
themes.
I mean,
Why?
it's definitely. It's like Deadpool-esque.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's adult themes in it, that's for sure.
yeah.
So it might not be a good idea to take her.
I mean, 18 is just a number.
What?
I'm kind of creepy over there, bro.
Well, they were talking about movies in this instance.
Yeah.
I don't date anybody 10 years younger than me. So I didn't mean
When
that.
I was a
How-
kid, I watched
No,
like
you
Predator
All right.
when I was like in the first grade.
First grade. I was a teenager when
Were
Predator
you
came out.
traumatized by it?
No, I thought that was neat.
Predator was
Funny
it's
line
one of my
in-
favorite, probably my top 3 movies. I love that
Yeah,
movie.
I just watched it again on
So
on
good.
Hulu. It still holds up.
Yes, it does.
What movie?
Predator.
Predator.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
My dad woke me up in the middle of the night so I can catch that movie while it was on TV. I remember
Wow,
all the movies
that's
he
cool.
woke me up in the middle of the night on a school night to watch a movie for. That was one of
Oh,
them.
that's
Nice.
cool. That's cool.
Nice memory.
Yeah.
Dun
Let's see.
dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun.
Predator,
The
Alien,
music in that is so good too.
Aliens, and Terminator.
Yeah,
Those are all movies he
Terminator's
woke me
up there too.
Terminator is pretty
I
good.
don't know if that really holds up much.
Judgment Day.
Maybe it does. Yeah.
Terminator 2. I remember that was a big deal when it came out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were playing it on the news. Like the news was talking about the movie. Like the evening news was
Yep.
promoting it.
They had to invent new kinds of special effects to do the liquid metal stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
And
was
it's
all
held
new.
up too. It's so
It
interesting
has.
which films do and which films don't.
They did it on old it just was beyond DOS at that point. Like basic Windows stuff.
Well,
I
they had like
figured they-
Unix machines and stuff, right?
I don't think they did. I mean, I know they use
They
computers, but I think
I see
They were
it.
using PCs. They're probably using mainframes or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. What
Silicon
the fuck they were using.
graphics, high-end computers.
Develop their own software.
So when I saw Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger for the first time in grade 11,
Yeah.
I promised my friend that someday I would look better than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember, he was in his prime then, and he just
Oh,
laughed at me. And then when I was in my early 40s, I really worked out hard and I was looking pretty good. And that was the time when Arnold Schwarzenegger was getting old and he's starting to get fat and stuff. And so I took a picture of him in his bathing suit and me and side by side and said, "See, my promise came true. I look better than Arnold Schwarzenegger."
Yeah, those guys were big in those movies.
Boy, Predator, man, that movie. It's
Rambo?
like all those guys all totally ripped.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys are ripped.
Yeah.
They're huge.
It's really like just amazing to see them.
Yeah.
Still in my head to this day
It's
when
also-
somebody says anytime, I always think of the line from the movie where he's like,
Anytime,
Yeah.
and then it echoes a few times.
turn around.
Damn it.
My brother makes the point about the size of those like action heroes. If you watch them, like any of the big heroes leading up to the 70s, just sort of around the cusp of the 80s, they're all basically dad bods. Like they're sort of fit looking men, but it's not until steroids becomes commonplace and then suddenly they're like, you know, suddenly enormous V-shaped things.
No.
Diamond
Aw.
got it. Oh, Two Kings.
No, I said no because I saw the river and I would have won.
Oh,
Oh.
I had
Yeah,
both the top pair and a open ender, I think.
Yeah, that was the heyday. Like in the 80s, Schwarzenegger was in the US and he was spending all his time on Venice Beach or wherever, just working out.
Getting so jacked.
Yeah, and I spent all my days working out on the farm in wintertime.
It's like Rocky, the training montage on the farm.
How long did you work? Like, what time would you get up, and then what time would you finish?
Well, I was still going to school, but there was times
Do you have
we get
chores
up with the
before
sunrise.
school?
When we had laying hens, I did.
Laying hands, what's that mean?
Basically chickens that lay eggs, and then we'd have to collect the eggs. And
Oh,
Right.
Wow.
it's so sad in a way because my kids can't experience that,
Yeah.
like shoveling stinky manure and collecting eggs and almost dying in a creek.
yeah, there is something to that actually, though. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
it's unfortunate that didn't happen to them.
I almost died so many times. In fact, there's a scene from, have you guys seen the movie Quiet Place 1?
Yeah.
Where the kid falls in a grain bin and it almost
Oh, yeah.
suffocates from the
That
that happened to me.
Oh shit!
really.
Oh,
And my dad and hired man had to dig me out.
Jesus.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like a
Wait.
nightmare being in there.
Yeah.
Oof.
Wait,
Why were you in there?
Well, because sometimes the grain gets stuck on the sides of the bin. And so you
Yeah.
go in there and you take a shovel and you pick at it. And then the whole wall of grain came down and I was buried up to like here.
Oh,
sinking.
dude. So was that manure?
Whew.
No, it's
it was
just
grain.
grain.
It was, I think it was
Oh, grain. Okay.
Wheat.
A little
Either
less. Little less
corn or
bad
barley. I forget what it
than
was.
what I thought.
Oh my
But
gosh.
still, it's scary.
What happened
like
in the creek?
Quicksand.
Oh, we would just always go out in the creek, but I couldn't swim. I was sitting on an inner tube, and my cousin pushed me over, and I went right to the bottom of the creek and took in so much water. And they
I
dug
thought
me
you
up.
paled for pine points at the creek, like with a sieve.
Yeah,
You stream it in the water. You splash the water on
but
there.
Pine Creek is the creek I almost died in a couple times.
Shake it, and you pick out the
Wow.
little.
There we go.
points
Nuggets.
one at a
Name.
I
time.
thought you were gonna bet, Diamond.
Those are pine nuggets at that point. You know,
Gotta
they're not
break my
converted to pine. There's a manufacturing process. It's very short.
How many points is a pine nugget worth?
You get pine
Is it by
nuggets
the
to
ounce?
points.
I'm just being ridiculous.
So basically, maybe they're being backed in a reserve, and then
Anthony, how'd you get
Oof.
so many chips?
He took all my money. There was
Yeah,
a
I had a
hand
big
where
land.
I had the nut straight, but
I
then
might
the
be out
flesh
early
came out.
tonight, y'all.
What?
If I
Come
keep,
back.
if you keep
back.
high betting me,
Double up, double up.
everybody's starting the game with way more than me. I'm like only playing with
hell?
like $20 a day.
What should we?
That's what I
we,
started with.
My allowance.
What do you want to review next, Nathan? You have any ideas? Ooh, 34. Big hand
wanna-
here.
I'd like to. Oh man,
Go all in,
Oops.
all in.
that's the dumbest idea. When you don't see it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bet that high. Or no, I didn't bet that.
You didn't bet that.
No, somebody else bet that.
Yeah, it was
I'm
Matt, wasn't
apologizing
it?
for a
Matt-
bet I didn't make.
It's
Matt
easy
led
to
that
tell other
charge.
people to go all
Anthony,
in.
you got so much money, you don't even know who makes the bet.
This is not a lot.
So there was this one video, Anthony, that you had that it came across my home screen, I guess, on YouTube. I thought I had seen all your videos, but I guess this one I didn't see it. And I looked for it in my history and I can't find it.
Can
And
describe
you
it?
were out front of the Alamo, I think. And there was a
Is it with
point
a
at which
street
someone asked this guy asked you if you believed in ultimate truth, and you weren't sure how to answer that.
Really?
I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay, it's probably still on there. It's probably just in it's unlisted, but in a
That one would be
public
fun to
playlist.
review.
It's in a public playlist, I think.
Okay, check.
Yes.
Got it.
There you
Be
go.
like, hey, look how
Okay,
far we came.
Can you describe who I was speaking with? Do you have
I think he said he
glasses?
was a pastor,
That doesn't narrow it down.
or was a pastor. Used to be, maybe. I thought he had like a red shirt on, maybe. I could be making that up. I think you remember a beer belly.
A beer belly? Was it kind of short?
I think so. It's hard to tell when the camera mount.
Were
is
we
on
standing?
chest and
Were
you
we standing? Yeah. Were
It
we
was
standing?
Pretty much a solid camera mount the whole time.
Yeah, that's how I wear it. So, were we ever sitting or was it always standing?
It was always standing.
Okay.
How many straights can there be?
Run it twice, guys.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I will.
Press yes, Harry.
Harry.
Is that?
Oh,
Does
sorry.
he also
run
ask
it
me?
twice.
Does he look up the word atheist in the dictionary?
Come on in the
Oh.
club.
No, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is there?
Another
Oh my god.
Oh, what a bet. Well done.
How did I?
That was courageous.
Okay.
Neither the jack, for God's sake.
That was a bitter. Oh, I'm so cool
Oh
now.
dear,
And
this,
now
this night's not going well.
Reed, I
just-
did get your invite and I did get Doug's invite, but I was at a family function until just now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, as if that's a good excuse.
I got eight siblings. I mean 7 siblings. We
Oh,
got
yeah,
lots of
that's
family
right.
functions.
That's right.
Doesn't
You gotta
that make
move-
each one less important?
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest. I'm the most important.
You got to do what I did and move 2,000 miles away from family.
That would be hard to do, I think.
How often do you see your family, Doug? Probably not often.
Well, I haven't seen them since COVID started. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But before then, maybe on average once a year.
Do they come to visit, or do you go up there to visit?
My parents used to come and visit, but then they stopped after my dad started getting sick. But my sisters once in a while have come. But yeah, I hate going to Canada because then you just spend all your time visiting people, and
Yeah.
it's not really a vacation; it's just a job.
I made the right choice.
Who said that?
Me.
Harry?
I made the right choice. Chickening out rather than just trying to be brash and confident.
That's not going
I
to make a dent, Doug.
I know you got me beat, so I don't know why I'm thinking. Got to shave, Matt. I got to shave too. Can you hear it if I do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tiniest bit.
I got a Richard Nixon, right? 5 o'clock shadow.
I've only shaved my beard twice since I was 18.
What?
Yeah. Why do we need to do that with this razor blades? It's so weird. I don't like it.
Well,
Oh,
wait,
rather than
no, no,
I
using
no.
like having my
clippers.
beard.
Wait a minute.
You've trimmed it. You just haven't shaved it.
I keep it trimmed, sure,
Yeah.
but I don't
Okay.
shave down to the skin.
I'm just wondering, how do you tell your
At
beard
what
to stop
pace
growing
does
after a
his
certain?
hair grow?
You got one for the balls or one for the face, or do you share the same?
Ooh, secret.
Okay.
I'm cheering for abstract.
God, damn it.
How come?
Damn.
How come in a showdown like that, I don't see like the other person's cards? Like I didn't see Nathan's cards there.
I did.
He didn't
I
have to
did not.
fold.
You didn't see mine, really?
No, that always happens to me. Like I only see the winning hand.
Sometimes you don't have to show the card. Even
Yeah,
if-
it's up to you whether you flip
Well,
it
hang
over.
on. Did I see his hand or not? I saw
You probably
Reed had a
didn't.
jack. No, I thought I did see it.
You're just so used to reading the cards. It's just like you can see them.
Yeah, that's right. I can see through the backs. Sixth Sense. I also see dead people.
I see dead people.
I remember
Bruce
watching that
Willis.
movie for the first time, and it kind of freaked me out. I was still a
Yeah.
Christian.
I that reminds me, I was talking about scary movies with my kids, and Blair Witch Project was probably the scariest fucking movie I ever saw because I was convinced it was real.
Yeah.
And Poltergeist was pretty.
It made it more real. It was more real. So it was.
What
And you
about
felt
The
like you were
Exorcist?
there. You felt like you were there with them. As the camera
Yeah.
was, like,
Yeah,
held.
that, and I fell into all like the pre, like it was like dial-up internet hype, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dial-up
Right.
internet hype.
Bulletin boards and your friends just talking.
Run the
about it.
twice, Aaron.
Another
Oh,
reason
fun.
why that movie was so successful
I'm going
is
for straight.
they never really show you the monster.
Yeah, it's all in your imagination.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
just see hands on tent fabric and shit, right? Like, yeah.
Oof, look at that.
Three of a kind and a flush.
Yeah, Jaws was kind of similar. They only show you the monster at the end. Alien, they don't really ever show you the entire alien. In the movie.
Alien was an excellent movie. So was Aliens.
It was
Aliens, they did show you.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
who
was.
starred in that one, Reed? Who's the female lead in Alien?
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney.
Yeah, that's the
Sigourney.
one I was thinking of the other day that you worked in a project with, right? Sigourney Weaver. Didn't you
Weaver.
work in a project with her once?
I got her autograph once.
Oh, that doesn't count, but that's pretty cool though.
That's basically the same thing.
You kind of work together to make that happen, right?
I seem to remember you were involved in some movie where she was acting in it.
No, what?
Jamie,
And then I-
was it Jamie?
And I thought you even showed me a
No.
picture, and I said,
Jamie.
"Man, she's old."
Oh, she is old now, right? She was
Oh,
like
yeah,
what,
she is.
30s maybe in Alien.
20s maybe. Yeah, she was young. All right, I got a straight draw. I need a queen.
All right, this is where my fortunes start turning around. None of this getting beat on all ends.
I've got a
Yeah.
strategy for not getting beat on all ends.
What's your strategy, Harry?
So don't go all in.
It's a good strategy.
You might have to here soon.
Don't keep. Yeah, I know it's getting to that stage, but I won't.
Oh, so you weren't all in when I won that huge pot with the clubs?
I was, but my side pot got me 144 back
Oh, I see.
because it was.
Oh, yeah, it was Matt. who
Nathan, after
was
this,
the
let's chat because I want to talk more about that video or try to figure out that video for you because I think
Okay.
that would be cool to review.
Yeah, I honestly, I scoured your channel for it also, and I went to your oldest video. It's not listed anymore. I don't know how I got it. I don't know how it was exposed to me. I also checked my history. I couldn't find it. Yes.
Whoa, there you go.
Booyah.
Too bad you didn't have
Back
more
in the
money.
game
Yeah,
for at least one more round.
nice work.
Yeah, I need to clean up my videos and playlists and shit. I hate how they're laid out.
I've given up trying. Seriously, like I got so many videos.
Tried.
Oh, how many do you have? I bet you I have
Me?
as much as you do.
Oh, you probably have way more.
You probably have more at this point because
I don't have that many. For dashboard.
I think I'm around 100, 850.
How do you tell? How do you tell how many videos you have?
Oh, sorry, I can look it up. Go to socialblade.com.
Social. I'm not going to Social Blade. I'll do
Please
it
give me
in.
this information.
Okay, I
But
have
magically.
832, and you have.
Wow, I don't have that many. I don't have half that. Probably.
You've been going longer than me, and
No, I don't upload as frequently.
yeah, you have 335,
Oh, okay.
but you have 6.7 million views, and I have 4.8. So I got more 2.5 times the videos, and you have 1.5 times more views. That means you're better than me, Anthony.
Quality versus quantity.
You finally got beat in the YouTube game. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh well,
Because I mean, every review that I see is you just dominating everybody.
what are you talking about? Tell me more.
And rightly so. I mean, you're not bullshitting, but you're like, I'm blowing these guys away. Look at how many subscribers they have and who showed up for their live stream.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I only did that with capturing Christianity because I just love media.
Doug has a thing with capturing Christianity and the number of subscribers they have.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah. There's a fakeness. There's a fakeness there.
Capturing
Well,
Christianity.
we have a history
Oh yeah.
that's offline too.
I think we all do.
didn't
Oh,
know that.
that. That's good.
Well, I do too, but I never get into that.
I really like Rationality
get into
Rules. Rationality Rules has some pretty in-depth kind of rebutts, like rebuttal videos that are pretty excellent.
What's it called? Rationality what? Rules?
Rationality Rules. Oh yeah, if you're not watching Rationality Rules, that's definitely one to follow.
I got his card game, and I need to play it with somebody.
Oh yeah.
His what? Oh, his
What's
card
it called?
game.
What's it called?
Oh shit! Bring that to Portland.
Fallacy.
It's called
Yeah.
Bring that to Portland. Play it with me.
Debunked.
yeah, something. Yeah,
Debunked.
something.
Yeah.
Debunked.
Oh man, how did you get that? Were you? Is it available now? Or
I think it was Kickstarter or something.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I would
think I put
totally
some money
get that
towards it.
game.
Yeah. Looked interesting. Well designed too. It looked very well designed.
Feeling lonely over there, Harry?
Yeah. I've just found this Rationality Rules. So the first thing that's come up is him debating capturing Christianity. So that'll make it two birds with one stone watch.
Does Cameron Betruzy ever do debates himself, or does he just always have people on?
Petruzi.
He
He
does.
doesn't do
he has
online
to-
debates.
Oh, so he's just like a host?
Yeah, mostly. He
Okay.
did a written debate back and forth, I think, with Rationality Rules, right? And then they talked about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't do apologetics anymore.
No, he does apologetics, but
He does apologetics. He's doing apologetics with people.
Wait.
Read.
well, his way of doing
Reed,
apologetics
what are
with
you
people is by
doing?
bringing people on.
No, you
To
do.
talk
All right.
about it.
Yeah.
But he's not actually doing
go.
apologetics
Let's
to
go.
debunk
Let's go,
arguments
baby.
or anything.
What do
is
we
he?
have? What do you have, Reed?
Sort
I don't
of.
watch him, so I don't know. I'm curious.
With the
Damn it!
nice 22 chips. Good job.
Nicely done.
No, you're almost back to your start.
I feel like I can play. I can play again. I thought I was gonna be out. Ooh.
But he's not the type of guy who thinks on his feet.
Nathan on the rebound here. I love it.
I had
We're
to
down
do
to
some
like
serious,
three.
some serious
sorry, Doug.
investigation.
I was just gonna say he's not the
serious
type of
eye
guy
contact over there with Reed.
who would bring a guest on and just talk.
Oh, he has to like do his research and know what to ask and all that.
Yeah,
He's-
that's why the written back and forth between him and the other guy was, I guess, was beneficial for him because he could ask the sidelines what he should say. I feel like that's what he did most of the time.
It's such an ancient era of debate. That's like sort of
Yeah, it's like playing
Socrates.
chess through mail.
yeah.
It's so ineffective and frustrating for both parties. So why do you keep doing it?
Yeah.
Like,
Good
aren't you
question.
tired of that bullshit and want to have like get to the bottom of it? Really?
Yeah,
And
Like, it's-
particularly for me, it's more about how do you have the conversation than what's the result of the conversation. So
Right.
watching people sort of, here's my scripted response. Here's what
yeah, I
heard
didn't
earlier.
like it very much.
Who is this with? Not Rationality Rules. You're talking about somebody
Correct.
else now, though.
No, Rationale Rules and Cameron Betruzy did
All
a
right.
back and forth video diary.
Oh, we should watch that then. Maybe we can do a review of that.
It was too many parts. It was like 10 parts. It was too much.
Well, we'll take I don't know.
Oh, you
Go
mean
through it and cut out the
Take a
best
couple,
moments.
whatever. Yeah. Just take some random snippets or something. If someone wants to send us a list to consider.
Yeah, doing a review of rationality rules would be a little complex because so much of the review that we do is like dialectic stuff and like questioning. I don't know, just be like a little weird.
Well, what do you want to shift it to?
I don't know. I just like watching the videos. It might be worth doing a review.
I like what Pierce and Quaid were doing. They were like reviewing an interview with like
That was cool. Yeah.
some CNN host, and then who were they?
Oh,
Mike Lindell.
Oh, Mike Lindell. And yeah, it was just this interview was off the rails, and it's just like,
wait. Tell me about Mike Lindell, because someone sent me an email about him. Is he like one of the
My Pillow guy.
projects?
fool.
My Pillow guy, the Trump supporter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was making a prediction that on the 13th,
Nice hand.
the
Nathan.
president would be reinstated
The 13th of
Yes.
this month.
Keeps-
This
He
is like a
keeps making-
doomsday prophecy playing out in front of us, just like those previous ones where they capture them.
There
every
was-
once in a while.
There was one in March, wasn't there?
Well, I'm just telling you about the latest
Oh.
one, which failed because it's great, and I love when they fail.
He's just
Someone-
it's just so bizarre. Like anybody, I guess he hasn't been in the game of scamming people long enough, but anybody who's clever at it makes really vague prophecies that aren't too
Right.
too near, whereas he keeps making really specific ones that are like next
Yeah.
Tuesday, and you're like, we're still going to remember this by next Tuesday.
He
Right.
also
You
reveals
suck at scamming.
some of his logic too in one of the interviews. I don't know if it was the one that they covered, but it was like he was explaining how like something happened to me, and it was a one in a billion chance. It just couldn't have happened any other way.
Right.
You know, that it's that kind of logic. So who knows what this guy's falling for?
A family member of mine sent me an email link to a Mike Lindell cyber symposium where
I wish I was there
where
after
a
I was
dog
watching some of the
news-
footage.
Dr.
I was
Douglas
thinking,
Frank
I
talked
would
about
love
the
to have been
2020
there and
election
just talking to people, interviewing them. What do you think about this? What, do you find this compelling? What do you wish that you had seen here? Like
Yeah.
that could have been valuable information to study that
Oh,
demographic.
Yeah.
Such good SE.
Yes,
doing
it was such a missed opportunity. Like maybe we need to look for opportunities like that to go
Yeah.
Well, Mark
and
is
observe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark's going to probably the best place you could go
What's-
to right now, which is the anti-vax people. He's going to like a convention.
Oh, in his town.
Probably the most
There's something in
dangerous
his
too.
town.
Mm. I've been
It's going to
trying to
probably
find
be the
some of
most
those-
hostile. He's going to talk to some hostile people. So
Yeah.
you
He's
better
really-
really focus on rapport and calm and
Yeah.
reassurance and honesty. Just be as honest and clear and kind as you can.
Right.
Tell me
that
what
would
you
be
guys
possible.
think, though. So I got this email from a close relative, and I think the implication was, hey, listen to what this doctor said. There's apparently math that says, the election was a fraud. Is probably, I haven't actually watched the video or whatever, but like, I spent this whole week thinking, should I even respond to this? And I haven't yet. I'm thinking maybe I just won't, because like, I don't think I could do like a proper response in an email. Like it's just too
Right.
hard.
Ask for a Zoom call
Yeah.
instead
I could
or
do that.
something. Yeah.
It was a 3 Sigma event, though, so your friend is probably right in one sense. Like for a sitting president to get more votes the second time and still lose has never happened before.
Oh, is that right? Didn't know that.
But we also never had so many people turn out to vote either.
Yeah, we've never had
Oof.
COVID as an
What?
issue, and
What is this
Yeah.
120 bet?
never had mail-in voting like.
So,
we've
yeah,
had
there's
before.
there's so many variables. It's easy to be confused as to what
You
actually
can't have a
happened.
Right.
straight.
Plus partisanship.
It's
is a big deal.
possible. It's probably not a flush either.
That's why we should all be like,
So it
okay,
must be
let's
like-
figure out what happened.
Multiple.
Mm.
I'm gonna call.
The thing is, like,
That was a beautiful call.
Nice call.
work.
Good
Yeah.
win, Nathan. All right, dude.
Huge.
Good job.
That's probably the most I've ever had in my stack playing poker.
I've I spent a couple months talking with some like election fraud conspiracy types, like SE conversations, and I made some progress with some of them. But I'll tell you that, like, you do your Tic Tac experiment, where you say, hey, like, how could we figure out? And I feel like asking the same question, but for the, like, how could we figure out how many votes?
Oh, that's the right question.
I mean, like,
Yeah. All right. Can you describe an ideal system, and then how does that compare to the one that was in place at the time of the election?
yeah.
Do an analysis.
And what safeguards would you want to see? Like, how would you?
Right.
What would
Right. What would you need to see to be comfortable with the next results? And if they say, if my candidate loses by X percent, then we are fucked. Right.
Yeah.
We need to make sure. Then that's a whole other issue, right? That's like, that's dogmatism right there. That's, that's religion.
Like, I voted for.
That's the reason why I'm interested in SE more so than the religion stuff.
Yeah.
When you were asking earlier whether or not I'm bored about it or whatever, I really do like SE a big deal because I think that the religious views and the political views are tightly connected.
Yes.
Culturally.
Yeah.
So
And we hold them in the same way.
The interview we had today at the lake. The guy
I know.
who was all anti-vaccine, and it just got deeper. Just carpet bombing is what I called it. And then he just, the final load in my view was that this is a fallen world and that Satan is real, essentially. Like, okay, wow, okay. So there is something to be said to focus on those beliefs, because they drive so much other stuff that's above here. That's like, this is a mess, but this is reachable, I think.
I got his email. Does anyone else want to have a conversation with him? I'm sure he'd be up for it.
I would love
I'm
to.
tempted to. Yeah. I just invite people to the Discord, a couple times a week at least. They want to have one of their beliefs challenged and they want me to do it. I'm like, no, go to the Discord server. It's a great place to go.
We had a guy on Discord for a few months he was like maybe worse than that, or he had some pretty wacky beliefs, and he hung out, and he sometimes you wonder.
Yeah, there were some interesting people in the Discord. I remember there was one chap, I'm getting quite frustrated with him because he just kept talking about how he thought all of us were a figment of his imagination. It's like, you understand how insulting and irritating this conversation is every time. I struggle to tell. I go back and forth between thinking Discord's full of trolls and thinking Discord's full of people with mental health.
You know what though? Even if it's a troll and they're participating, it's still kind of interesting to see where the mind is going in pretend as opposed to in reality. So
I haven't seen
there's
many
still value.
Trolls. I mean, like, maybe I'm naive, but I don't think there are many trolls on Discord.
No, I don't think there are
on the
many
street
trolls.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't think there's many there at all. I think they do. I don't know what level of effort's going into managing that, but it seems like they're doing really good.
Yeah, it's one of the best servers for having like productive, reasonable conversations, even about unreasonable issues. Yeah,
I don't listen into much of that stuff or read any of the dialogues that are there. That's good to hear that it is productive. I've heard otherwise. I've heard people say like people aren't adhering to the principles of SEU or whatever.
They don't in the lounges, in the SE ones.
And the voice is probably always civil, I would imagine.
Yeah. In the lounges, in the video lounges, people are sort of having pretty nice chats. But yeah, in the SE ones, I mean, there was one where we got to the end of it and somebody was like, feedback. I was like, that didn't sound to me like an SE conversation. And then they got really upset.
Yeah,
because it was just two people arguing. They were being like, but what about this? But what about
most of the discussions I see there, and even in the Facebook group maybe, is like, what is SE and when is it and when is it not SE? That is a common point of discussion I see pop up in the Discord server. It's really interesting.
Sitting here slowly bleeding chips. Not even slowly.
Me too.
All right.
We've got 7 wins. I still haven't won a hand.
After that. Key.
Reed, have you figured out your schedule for your cross-country escapade?
Broadly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are you going to be where? When are you going to be in the Midwest?
Sorry.
leaving New York the week of the 18th. I might go to Buffalo for Niagara Falls. I've never been there.
Okay.
Chicago, the 20th of October. Denver, 22nd. Salt Lake City, 23rd, 24th. I think I'll spend a week in Yellowstone for like a few days.
I've never been there either, Yellowstone. I'd like to see that. Are you going to stop anywhere between Buffalo and Chicago?
You should stop in at South Dakota to see Mount Rushmore.
It's kind of out of the way. I could go that way.
Have you seen Mount Rushmore before?
No. I
It's
guess I
worth
need,
seeing.
yeah. If I'm going around the country, I should probably just stop by.
Boy, I've just had a series of terrible hands. Nothing you can do about that.
Remember, you play the player, not the hand. Although in this game, everybody plays, so you're playing like everybody at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's tough.
Someone's going to beat you, probably.
Hey, do you guys want to help me create that list of questions to respond to COVID or health related claims?
Sure.
I put a thing out on Twitter about it. But I was thinking if I'll compile a list of like maybe 10 to 12 good, like common things people say about vaccines or health
for
hesitancy.
people who are against getting the vaccine, you should ask the question.
Pro
how
or
many-
con. I want to do both.
Yeah, but for those who are against, ask how many close friends and relatives have to die before you'll get the vaccine.
That builds rapport.
Well, that might be a response if they say, "Well, no one in my family's died yet."
What if
And
someone?
then-
But if one did, would you get the vaccine? If two, if three, how many
right,
would it?
what's your number?
Yeah.
What's your number?
Yeah,
what's your sleep comfort number?
How do you know you're not the first of that list?
I'd be
I like-
interested.
Kind of cruel.
I like the chess analogy.
Chess analogy.
That I mentioned earlier.
What
do
is the
that.
chess analogy?
Like, I had a conversation about vaccines with somebody who was hesitant, and then we talked about the difference between, like, well, whether we established whether or not we thought there were facts, certain facts that were objectively true. We talked about objectivity, and then we talked about oughts and how those are like a little different to think about. Though there may be certain oughts, if given a goal, a particular goal, certain oughts might be objectively better than other oughts. So like if you're playing a game of chess, let's see, but two, whatever. So if you're playing a game of chess, then if you had no goal, you can move about the board however you wanted to. As soon as you have a goal, yay! Then when you have a goal, now there are objectively wrong ways to move if your goal is to win, and conversely, there might be better ways objectively to move, and we may not know what those moves are. They may be out of our vision, though there is a way to lose the game, and we can program a computer to learn from this and avoid losing. And so we talked about that, and then I just said, which is more likely to save lives or save your own what's the word for like a societal, not death, but just morbidity, which is going to lead to more morbidity.
I like that.
Did you just say harm?
That's a way to say it, but morbidity is like a specific word that you can actually like explain if they.
It's almost like well-being.
Yeah, it's like well-being for health, right?
Yeah.
Within a society. And then you can just ask, if everyone took your strategy, would that be a society you would want to live in? Now that we're comparing the objectivity of your strategy, are you holding yourself to a standard that you wouldn't want other people to do?
Yeah. What are better ways of telling the truth of it besides the scientific method or the reports that have been done so far?
Yeah, how could we know, right? I think it's important, though, like, I posted a link. I think she's got the right view. Like, I think it's important for us to not, like, put anti-vaxxers and vaccine-hesitant people in the same group.
No, I agree, totally.
They're definitely not. Like,
totally agree.
Right.
Yeah.
The person who I was talking to was hesitant. Like, they seemed like they would go get it. And they actually texted me the next day. I actually have it in front of me.
You're gonna, you'll insult either one if they think that you think they're in the other party.
Yeah.
So that just creates tension. Don't try to view it that way.
And I do wonder if there is some reactance there with, like, I've often blamed a lot of the left for Trump in that if you start shoveling people into this category of racist and sexist, do they start to sort of wear that, even if it's a little bit trollishly, and then start to associate with that side more? Whereas if you said, oh, look, I can see that you've got some views about this and da-da-da, then they're less likely to want to sort of associate with that level of extremeness. So I wonder if the same thing would be true for vaxxers, that if you're sort of making this this sort of insult, this caricature of them, they might be more inclined to sort of look at that sort of, vaccines cause autism more sympathetically.
Possibly. Yeah.
I had a conversation with my sister-in-law tonight that was kind of concerning. I think all the arguments thus far, I think she is just being stubborn to a point where she doesn't want to listen to the logical arguments, and so she's defaulting to
You're right.
She's defaulting to a point of it's a religious contention because the vaccines they use stem cells to develop the vaccines, and she's 100% pro-life as a Catholic. So I think the rest of the arguments, I think she realizes they're valid, but she's defaulting to this because she's just getting stuck in. She just wants to. It's really frustrating. You can't argue against it.
Well, hang on, Aaron.
All the little babies are already dead.
Aaron, did you know, though, that the Pope weighed in on this last year, like after the vaccines were released, and they made like a ruling, a church ruling that says that it's okay to take the vaccine even though it has some stem cell lines or whatever from way back when.
Unless you're like pre-Vatican II and you only do mass in Latin, right? Got the
Yeah.
weirdos. Think
No,
the
even
Jews,
so. Well,
the Jews are at fault for everything, right?
whatever.
They killed Jesus.
Either you agree with the Pope or you don't. I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Hey guys, Reed hates this kind of talk, so move on to something else.
What are you talking about?
The political stuff.
You
Now
say
we're talking
you
about the
hate-
intersection of like
No,
politics
just
and religion, and that's
don't talk about theism in terms of theism. This fine.
Yeah,
Right,
just
in
stay
terms
away
of
from the theism.
Intersection with how it intersects with our life is an interesting conversation.
No religious talk.
like when
Wait,
two
what happened?
atheists
Did I
talk
say
about
something
whether or
wrong?
not God would be
It's to me.
like the nuances of like the inner Catholic idea about
Yeah.
saints. That's a little bit more like
Oh,
think
we were just kind of reminiscing and connecting.
yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
I think
I
there's
was
something about the
I was just
vaccine
trying to
thing.
explain
that's-
what I
sorry.
think that Reed was whatever.
I love you guys. I could just be myself. What? Oh, Doug.
What?
Oh, Doug
Oh,
is
shit.
saying he has a straight with his bet.
Oof, you, Matt.
Does Doug actually have a straight? Does he have a Jack 7
I
or
bet
Jack Queen?
He doesn't have a flush.
Ace, Queen of Hearts.
He's
Ace
got-
Gotta
Queen of
want
Hearts,
someone to
flush draw.
call.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Whoa.
Two pair. Oh, I think Doug's following.
Nice.
Wow.
Did I get
I
twice?
can't even follow. What?
Chop it up.
Oh,
Uh,
what's this
Oh,
thing?
wow.
Yeah,
Split.
split.
Wow.
I'm glad I said run it twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
There
both
go.
have to
So
do
what
it,
is this
right?
run it twice? That wasn't around last game, was it?
It's of the devil.
Yeah, we used it last game. You weren't there.
Okay.
Were you
Last
there?
game,
Were
Were
you
you
there?
That's not right. Who said that?
So Matt, we just made some Anthony money. That's it.
I think so. Yeah, we mostly split up our own money. Some
Yeah.
Anthony and
Damn.
maybe a few blinds.
You got any money, huh?
All right, I better get some work done. Lovely playing again, guys. By which I mean lovely giving you more of my money. I better go make
Harry.
some more, so
Thank you,
we've got
Harry.
enough to give
Yeah.
you some next week.
Make some more, come back and yeah.
Sounds like a good plan, Harry.
Hey,
Thanks.
Harry.
All right, cheers, good to see you. I'm going to try and get my camera fixed before then too, so I don't
All
keep
right.
looking so
Sure, sure.
Cheers.
wide. Right, see you.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bring more money next time.
Yeah, I have a problem with this vaccine stuff. No, not me personally, but like my, I have a close relative who just is against taking the vaccine, and she's in her 70s, and she's like going about her life, so it's just a matter of time before she contracts COVID
Or
Yeah.
doesn't, right?
or doesn't. I mean, but I think it's likely she will. How bad will it be? I don't know.
Well, you have year after year chances, right? It's going to be
Yeah.
endemic.
But if you're 7 years old, like I'm not too worried.
70. She's mid 70s.
No, I
Lived
mean
her-
like if she
yeah,
dies, she
lived her
dies.
life. Yeah, he lived her life.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but it's my relative, So it's like I wish I could talk some sense.
How
into
well do you
her.
like her?
Well, I like her. But I guess I don't like her so much that I would like I've had like several SE like discussions with her, but you can't bank on changing someone's mind with SE necessarily.
Like my dad initially was hesitant to get the vaccine, and I didn't push back at all because he's 83 years old. If you want to die, go ahead.
That's not pushing back.
Well, no, that's what I was thinking. I didn't come out and say
Oh,
it.
that's you didn't say it.
Hey, we have a guest.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, it's Joe. I thought I'd join you guys with poker. That's all right.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Joe
we know
randomly,
Joe?
Joe randomly showed up on the stream today.
Oh yeah, I thought you looked
Nice.
familiar. Hey Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Nice. Yeah, I just got into the whole SE community like 4 or 5 days ago, and
Wow.
through
You're getting-
your videos, and then I meant to just watch the stream today, but I guess I went to the section that kind of gets you involved, and Reed was kind enough to say, "Hey, stay in chat," so I did.
That's amazing. Wow.
Mhm.
That's like jumping into the deep end before knowing all the basics or whatever.
Well, I
That's
did
cool.
binge watch a fair few of yours and Reed's videos, so I'm definitely
Yeah,
sold
the
on the
ace.
whole
Oh
SE
my God.
concept.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
Ouch.
Damn.
Oh, who had
Son
it?
of a bitch.
Reed? You win that?
That was not me, no.
Hmm. Nathan
was-
again.
So do you know how
Ace
this
high
works?
flush versus king high.
Just click on a seat, put in your amount times 10, whatever you sent me on PayPal,
Nice hand, Matt.
and click
Thanks.
the checkbox.
Matt, you've been really mad because I was one away from a straight flush. That ace high would have been nothing.
I haven't seen a straight flush yet in all the poker we've played.
Oh no, I've gotten one. Oh, but
Yeah.
were you here during those times?
I
It
may
was
not have
maybe-
been here.
It was maybe PM pre-Matt.
Joe, how did you first hear about street epistemology? I'm kind of curious.
It was actually through. I've been watching the ACA stuff for years, so that's the Atheist Experience and Top Heathen, and then Anthony. I came across an old episode with Anthony on there talking about straight epistemology, and so it was already planted in my brain. Then I actually called Talk Heathen last week, and we had a conversation about labels and things with Matt and Kenneth, and yeah, we all agreed that straight epistemology would probably help me with the problems I was discussing with labels and stuff. So kind of just went from there and found Anthony's videos and reads, and then the SE Discord, and yeah.
Damn.
To another.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
And now you're in the smoky back room where all the deals are made.
That's right. That's right. And my first discussion on there actually was on the SE Discord was actually with you, Diamond, and Anthony. I think that was 2 or 3 days
Oh,
ago.
cool.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your
Nice.
name on Discord, Joe?
It's the Bloody Nine. It's a character from.
Wait a second. We were on a Discord together, or did you say
Yeah,
Clubhouse?
The SE Discord. You did an SE practice like 3 or 4 days ago.
Oh yeah. I was just doing a discussion about SE.
Oh
Okay.
right. Just
Oh,
Don't
you were
raise
there?
the 4, Matt. Don't raise the
I was
4.
there for that one.
Okay.
I wanted to. I so
I know.
wanted to.
I could see.
Yeah,
you
that was a
thinking
fun
about it.
discussion. I enjoyed that. That
Yeah.
was cool.
That's great.
What's going on here?
Reed has a pair of aces or something.
So, Joe, have you heard of this Pine Creek guy?
He's an asshole.
Stay away from him. He'll be a bad influence on your SE progress.
Yeah, he's a flag waving phony street epistemologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
He does some
Yeah.
unorthodox things.
Yeah, he
pushes-
plays
he
fast and loose
pushes.
with the rules.
He pushes the boundaries.
And he's
Yes.
really good at poker.
Yeah, he takes all my money.
He makes Muslims fight each other.
that was interesting what you did.
I think Joe still doesn't get the joke.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Pine
Yeah.
Creek, Joe. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, nice. I was unaware.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's
got a
hard.
channel.
All the handles versus the names here. Yeah, hard to.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, I can totally understand that you're not aware of me. Like, I don't even have Netflix yet. So,
What do your kids watch?
we got Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and Peacock.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
I'm
more than
hardly
enough.
aware of me.
Was that just for the Olympics? Why
He
Peacock?
was right. He had a pair
No,
of-
I got Peacock just for
Yellowstone.
the Yellowstone. Yeah, Yellowstone's my
Oh,
new favorite
Yellowstone?
show.
What is it?
Yeah.
It's a Western?
It's like Dallas. Remember the show Dallas?
Vaguely.
From the
Yeah.
70s?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah.
Shot
80s.
JR.
70, yeah.
Early '80s. It was in the 70s, was it?
No, it was the mid '80s, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, 81,
Looking
82.
it up right now.
This
Dallas.
is like mid '80s.
Who shot JR?
There's 3 seasons worth, Aaron. So if you're looking for content to watch,
Only 3?
Great.
I thought it was on longer.
I was thinking about starting the new Star Wars cartoon on Disney Plus. That looked
That looked
interesting.
good. Yeah. Oh wait, Star Wars or Marvel?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a new Marvel thing too.
Yeah. Disney
see.
owns everyone now.
Right.
Yep. Kind of
not
confusing.
me. They'll never take my soul.
Didn't you just go to the Star Wars hotel? They already got most of your money, right?
They got you.
Yeah.
You went to the Star Wars hotel?
No, I didn't go to Star Wars.
Oh, you
it
boys.
wasn't open when I went.
He would have.
No, I would not have. It's like
That's right.
$4,000 a room per
overpriced.
night,
Kiss my ass.
or for 2 nights.
Overpriced.
No, I didn't actually. I had some really bad experiences at Disney World this past time, and it was all in the parking lot.
With the handicap.
Oh yeah, he got.
Yeah. I got
That's
trapped with the handicapped people. That doesn't sound good, does it?
It's horrible.
But I did get to go into the castle. which very-
Wow.
First season of Dallas was 1978.
Hey, Joe won his first hand.
78. I think I said
Congrats.
78.
Thank you. Which
Like,
is rare
how
for me,
much?
poker,
How
I have
much
to
does
say.
Disneyland cost these days? It's got to be a lot, right?
Oh
$1
yeah.
billion, yeah.
I would say for a family of like me and my wife, 2 kids, to spend 4 days there. I think we also went to Universal. I haven't done the math completely, but my guess is we spent $9,000.
Whew. Wow.
Oh,
Including the airfare.
Yeah, including airfare.
Like
I
for
would
that
go
money, I would
Thailand.
probably rather go to Thailand or something.
me too. That's exactly what I just said.
Like for $9,000, the whole family could probably stay there.
Yeah, but-
for, like,
Thailand's not really the nice place for 2 young kids.
Well,
and-
Well,
Maybe.
Nathan's.
Well, how dare you?
Remember,
Fantasy
Using the
versus
sex
the
word.
real world.
That's racist.
Racist. Yeah. Let's swing
What's-
by Bangkok while we're there.
yeah.
Hey, just because it
The old
sounds
sex
dirty doesn't mean
story.
it's dirty.
Now Daddy's going to do what Daddy really wants to do. Okay, so you guys go do your thing.
That is an unfortunate stereotype, and that should not be propagated.
So do all of you here live in the US, or?
Yes.
I think so.
We had one person
Maybe.
who was from Australia, but he left before you came.
Are you?
Not
Where are you
Joe.
from, Joe?
I'm originally from Australia, but I immigrated to Canada 12 years ago. So yeah, I live in
What
BC,
province?
Canada, so
BC?
British Columbia, yeah. Actually, I live in Whistler, the ski town.
Oh yeah,
Whistler.
beautiful.
So, yeah, it's
Do you
pretty
ski?
amazing. I do, yeah.
Oh, I envy you.
Yeah, and the mountain biking in the summertime is just insane. It's a lot of fun.
You have a bit of a Hugh Jackman vibe going there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Am I the only one who sees this?
Yeah.
There's a bit of
yeah.
that.
That.
Yeah, I like
It's
it.
just you, Doug.
I'm not complaining.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not turned on or anything. I just,
I'm turned
Oh,
on.
that's a shame. Yeah. You're only human. But yeah,
I just
so
watched
naive
Logan
when I
last
moved
night.
here. I didn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Logan was the best, like probably my
Oh, yeah.
favorite X-Men movie. Well, Days of Future Past was pretty good too. Those last two, well, the last one wasn't so great, but the two before last.
but Joe doesn't look like the Logan because he's a lot younger.
Yeah. No, Logan was a good one of the recent ones for sure.
How long ago did you move to Canada, Joe?
It was September 2009, right before the Olympics.
Hmm.
Which I didn't even know were here. That's how naive I was. I was just bouncing around the world, and and I had to come to Canada because I had the work visa. So I ran out of cash. So I was either go home to Australia or come to Canada where I could work to continue traveling. And I went down that road and kind of got stuck here. So
Yeah, he kind of reminds me more of the Hugh Jackman who sings, like in Les Miserables.
Les Mis. I mean, I'll take any version of Hugh Jackman. Really, it's fine.
You're not calling him effeminate, are you, Aaron?
Don't put words in my mouth. Okay, this is open for interpretation.
It's all street epistemologists do is put words in people's mouths.
Yeah, manipulators.
Leading questions.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm really good at that. Or I should say Pine Creek is. I like to separate my worlds.
Yeah, I should.
And Anthony, your heritage is Italian. How many generations of your family been in the Americas?
Let's see. My dad was born here, but his father came over when he was young.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So,
So further
Does your
second
dad speak any
generation.
Italian?
My dad does not. No, he didn't really speak much Italian. I don't know if they just didn't want to speak it, or it was kind of a mixed neighborhood, like Polish and Italian. So maybe there was, maybe they were sensitive to that or something. I don't know, but yeah, they just didn't speak it.
Is your mom's
And-
maiden name Soprano?
No, she's not Italian. My dad's, so I'm only like 50% Italian as far as
Okay.
that goes.
Flag waving, phony Italian.
Flag waving, phony Italian. Is that what you're getting at? How much of an Italian are you? Yeah. I was raised Italian. Let's put it that way.
Wow. Okay.
Does everyone have high card?
So how long ago, Joe, did you first hear the words street epistemology?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. You're a virgin.
Yeah. Big time.
Do you have any questions about it? Anything that curious about?
I naively think that I have a relatively good understanding about what it is. I mean, I have a lot of questions about the techniques. I raised this. I actually did some essay practice with somebody where I was the interviewer, and I sort of raised this question about how it makes me kind of feel uncomfortable going into a conversation and using techniques as opposed to just interacting organically. I could be comfortable doing it in an SE circumstance, I think, but if I were to then think about doing that in my personal life, it wouldn't feel right in some way. To have a thought come along in my head and then say, okay, no, not that one. There's this technique. I'm going to use this one. You know,
Yeah.
somehow would feel dishonest or not.
That's where it gets gray and murky, like ethically, you know.
Yeah.
Am I just deciding to pick this thing because like I think it's going to be effective, or am I doing it because I think it's going to be effective? You know.
Right. Yeah. So.
Or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it's murky.
But it's strange how I can.
There's ways to mitigate. There's ways to mitigate it, though. I think.
Yeah.
Like you can say, you know, I'm kind of tired of arguing with you about it. Can I try something a little bit different?
Right.
And explain what you'd like to attempt with them. You know.
Yeah.
You could try that, and then they're consenting to it. They're agreeing to it, and then there's no guilt. It's like they're on board with what you're attempting to do. You think that you're right. I think that you're wrong. Can we try this?
Yeah.
You can try it, but then they may be scared because, oh, well, what are we getting into? Let me look at some examples. Oh, I don't like the examples that are out there. It could be a downward spiral.
Yeah. Aaron, what do you have?
I got 2 overcards.
Okay.
Over what?
Are you lying?
He doesn't usually. He usually just tells us what he has. It's helpful.
Joe, two things I would say. One is that I don't think, this is just my personal view, but I don't think you need to feel guilty about like having a tool in your toolbox that you can choose to use. And
Right.
especially if that tool makes conversations like more productive and less,
Like,
Well,
here's
that's
what I'm thinking of. Think of all the times that maybe you heard something on the radio or dialogue, and you thought, "Oh, that's good. I'm going to use that with my wife," or something like that.
Right.
Or the wife might say, "I want to use that with my husband," or whatever. Like, we're
Yeah.
subconsciously almost doing that all the time. We're weighing the arguments that we hear, and we see if we like them or find them useful or whatever.
Yeah, and the other example I thought of is that naturally that obviously happens in conversation organically. If you have conversations with people and it doesn't go a certain way you want it to, you're naturally going to adapt the way you talk to people and change. But so, I could get rid of that discomfort if I really drilled down on it. But there's something about the very active process of stopping mid-thought in a conversation with someone personal and then going down another road as
Right. It's
So,
unusual.
yeah.
It's awkward.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
I don't know what the solution is. It's like getting started maybe is the hardest thing about SE.
Well, I wouldn't feel really bad about it at all in an SE environment, like say you're like the ones that I've seen on your channel or Reed's. Because I think
Oh man.
I think SE is really important. Like, I think there's never been a more important time in history than to think about why they think what they think.
Exactly.
But
God damn it!
Nice call.
So I could be
Nice
comfortable in
call.
SE, but not in
So
personal.
like that's the thing. Like, okay, maybe there's like 10% of this is like sketchy, but it could lead to an amazing greater good.
Absolutely.
Right?
Like,
Makes you wonder, like,
yeah.
without a doubt.
how do we justify that 10%, or
Full
how do we
tilt.
come up
Let's
with
go.
10? Why isn't it 25? You have to be careful.
I think Joe, like one of the deepest insights that I've had about street epistemology is that it's less about it's about having a more effective communication by changing your behaviors, by like controlling your own emotions. And I don't think there's anything unethical about that. Like if you can control your own emotions, not react badly, maintain rapport, right? Like these are good things to do. Like
Think of it this way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We spend a lot of our lives when we're being raised of taught how to interact and how to think, and this is how you converse with people. So we've been told this our whole lives, and then we learn it,
Right.
internalize it, and we follow it. So these are just new instructions.
Oh my God! One more.
Right? So like, why is it suddenly unethical? We've always been doing it, or maybe has it always been unethical, and now this is actually a step better
I think
Yeah.
it's,
because you
think
can
it's
opt
more-
in.
I think it's more about okay, let me give a brief example. A friend did the masterclass website and he gave me a year subscription, and I actually wouldn't recommend it that much to anyone if they're curious.
your subscription to what?
You ever seen those masterclass ads? Like Neil deGrasse Tyson did a talk, and
Okay.
you can learn tennis from Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was one of the classes was by Chris Voss, who was an FBI negotiator.
Oh yeah, right.
He's been
He's got a
doing
pretty
this
good podcast.
podcasts and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
don't
was
agree with
teaching-
everything.
No, and he has a group called the Black Swan Group, and what they do is they teach people how to get the most out of a business negotiation, and it's all about strategy of how you can get what you want out of a conversation in a very direct way.
Mhm.
So if that made me feel more uncomfortable when I realized, he was talking about very specific mirroring techniques and ways to do it, and yeah, I felt so strange to try to then apply that to a conversation with my mom or someone close like that. So I think that's a little bit better of an example maybe than the street epistemology thing, but
Yeah.
Did it make you feel like a pickup artist?
I don't know. I don't know. It's obviously something in my brain is uncomfortable with strategy in conversation. So yeah, I don't know how I can articulate that any better. And I know it happens naturally over time with multiple conversations, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with you. I'm with you, and I have those same thoughts all the time.
Like when my wife says, "Do I look fat in this dress?" it's perfectly fine to have a strategy of how to answer that, right?
Well,
Well,
do I go through
yeah.
the scenarios of possible
Don't we
things?
don't we kind of strategize? We strategize every big conversation that we have on some topic.
Right. I guess in my life I really love conversation. I love talking to people. Like even this is just awesome to me, just hanging out. But I've always gone into it really as organically as possible. And
That's better. It's better that way. It just organically comes up.
yeah, and people usually engage well with me because everyone I meet is kind of like picking up a Rubik's cube. If I walk into a social situation, I want to learn about each person, and so I get a lot of positive feedback because I'm showing genuine interest in those people. So yeah, the really only objective has only ever been the conversation itself for me. So yeah, it's weird to now change that to have another objective.
Yeah. Here's my advice. Like my advice is to be as real and authentic and honest as you can throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
You know, I want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Would you consent? Is it okay if I ask some questions that might be a little bit outside the norm of a typical interaction? Like honestly, I think it's awkward and everything, but if you're looking for that justification to use it with somebody, and you can even say like, I want you to learn and use this too with me.
Yeah.
This isn't just for me to like hammer and use just with you to get you to change your mind or come around to my view or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, this is a useful tool for you too if you value the truth.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if that's really the linchpin for me is like if they value truth and they understand what's going on, it's a green light until something's unexpected comes up. But
Have you come across somebody who doesn't value truth? I feel like that's just like
Yes.
All the time.
well, they say it, but they had their clothes on, right? And the shirt was buttoned. They glance down at their watch, so they interact with reality.
Maybe a better question is some people you've spoken with have said they don't value truth. Is that what you're saying?
Well, some people will say, "I'll hold on to my God belief because it makes me feel good, and that's all that matters to me."
I don't care if
and
it's
the
true.
truth about
I don't
that
care if it's
matter in
true,
particular doesn't
Well, so
matter.
so they're making a distinction between certain claims. On some claims, they don't care about the truth. In most other claims, they do care about the truth. They've made an exception for a handful of beliefs.
It's an indirect disregard of the truth, the truth for me or the
And
other
what
things
and
that you
why?
do. It's that-
Why don't you value the truth? Why? It seems amazing to value the truth and embrace uncertainty and all that. It's perplexing. Once you get to that side, it's okay to be uncertain.
The video that you just reviewed with that person who was talking about on Mark's podcast, the woman who was like basically I guess she was like or he I don't know what the story was. I didn't catch the whole thing, but like they were talking about trans people or whatever. And that boy, that was a conversation that was really difficult to pin down on the truth, like you spent so much time talking about like experience and my personal experience and this and that, but then she said, well, I do care about the scientific evidence. It's interesting, like I think people will kind of change their standards depending on the belief that they're holding, and how important it is to them.
Yeah, those talks tend to be more about like ontology and identity than they are really about epistemology.
Yeah.
Bet 50, Anthony. You got a 4. You got to bet 50.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched a video review that you guys did of the astrology video. I can't remember what the guy's name.
Betruzy's favorite.
Classic.
Yeah. And I mean, can you say that person values truth? I mean, does that person even understand what the definition of truth is? Like, I don't even know how to approach that. But he seemed to have a fairly healthy disregard for.
Oh, bingo!
Full house.
Nice hat.
I remember reading saying, "What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?" What's that supposed to mean?
The chart can go
Flop
fuck
the-
itself.
Yeah.
Can't believe I said
I love
that.
that.
I'm
I
like,
genuinely shared that sentiment.
I said that in my head, and I'm
You
like,
built
don't say that.
rapport. You
Don't say
built
that.
rapport with that.
And I said it.
Yeah. So
It's like
these
the,
are
yeah.
almost observations. Like, so like we're observing the conversation. We're pointing out things that we like. Are we doing it because like we recognize that was useful? Should we not be recognizing that? Does that turn it more insidious if you notice things and you talk about it?
I think that's
Yeah.
worth recognizing. What you mean, Reed's reaction? Is that what you mean?
No, our discussion
No,
how
he's
that
saying
might
it generally.
that may have actually built rapport. Like just recognizing that
Yeah.
you can even joke around and push the limits a little bit and still not harm the conversation.
I kind of read it as him saying, well, you can say that, but it doesn't really matter because he's just so confident in it being true, right? So I kind of got the read that he's saying, well, you can say that, but who cares? Because no matter what you say, it's true. I don't know. That's the vibe I got, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was a neat moment.
It really was. I would just feel so lost in that conversation with where to go to. Yeah, I mean, I'd be thinking to myself, I'm talking to a person that, doesn't understand that two people can't have differing opinions about the same fact. Just, it's interesting.
One hour.
Doug here does a lot of, SC conversations with religious people, and in the past they've done some reviews of them on the Street Epistemology channel, and the ones that they've reviewed have been particularly good. Like, I remember the two that I remember were actually that Stuart Connectal guy, where Doug did the flying man experiment with him, and boy, I couldn't believe how far that went. Like most people like will usually stop the experiment before that point.
He kept agreeing to it, or what? He kept agreeing to what he would
he's
accept?
like, no, I wouldn't believe it. No, I wouldn't believe it. No, why would I believe that?
Okay.
It's like, well,
Yeah,
well,
it carried on
different?
surprisingly long.
Yeah.
It's
Another one was that guy.
At what
Yeah.
point is this person going to recognize what's happening? Or do we just keep going? This is why I send my conversation partners a recording of their talk. Because my theory is that half the time, my conversation partner isn't even recognizing that they're not recognizing something. Like they aren't even clear on where they're not clear. And
Yeah.
it's only clear on the recording. And
That's
step
testable.
outside of ourselves when we hear it later. So I want them to listen back to it. I send them an email with a Dropbox link. And they've got like 30 days to download it before it deletes.
I made that point to Anthony on the SE conversation we had the other day on the Discord, was that getting them to say again their confidence scale at the end of the conversation, even if they come through with 100, if you've cast doubt on their epistemology and that seed of doubt is in their mind, they then now at the end have to hear them say the 100% again, although doubt has been introduced, right? So even that reflection of at the end hearing themselves say, okay, it's still at 100%, but you've raised all these doubts. I think there's value in that, same as you're saying, them listening to the conversation.
Yeah. Just recognizing, wow, I didn't budge at all, and yet all those things I agreed to aren't good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really fascinating.
Yep. Nice.
Also, one I keep in mind is a conversation that Doug had with a guy. He just called in. There was no face, but I forget his name even. But like, he did that flying man experiment with him, and I remember at the end you joked, "Okay, well, the home office is going to send you a 'I'm an atheist' T-shirt now because I guess you don't believe in God."
Humor can go a long way in disarming people. So you can say things you wouldn't normally be able to say.
My last free will, I have a free will talk coming out this week, and we define free will. I was careful to make sure that we repeated the definition for free will like multiple times, because I wasn't even clear that he was clear what the definition for it was.
Yeah.
And it was making it a decision outside of any kind of outside influence, like something that is from within only.
Okay.
So like if you follow the crowd, you're not practicing free will, but if you do something on your own volition outside of an outside influence, then it is free will.
What if
And I
you
try
want
to
to
figure
follow the
out-
crowd?
Go ahead.
What if
What was
you
that?
want to follow the crowd? Like you like decide, no, I want to
Use your
follow
free
the
will
crowd.
to be yeah.
Right. Well, I should have asked that. That would have been a good question to ask. Like, would it not be free will, or would it still be free will? Because later on, I did like the Sam Harris "Think of a Movie, Any Movie" kind of, or think of a
Yes,
city,
yeah.
any city thought
Yes.
experiment. But I just did it in question form, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I said, "Did you have free will to choose that movie?" And he said, "Yes." And then I asked, "What do you think caused you to think of that movie?" And he was like, "Family influence, definitely." So, like,
Wait,
how
I
does
don't-
that work?
So
what'd you ask? He doesn't think anything caused it? Wait,
Well, he
thinks
said
nothing
family
caused it.
influence. Family influence is what caused it. However, his definition is something outside of any influence.
yeah.
He contradicted himself, yeah.
So
but Nathan,
his
if
own
you
reason-
listen to that again, I think that
Sounds like a trick question.
yeah,
he
because I sent it
was-
to you.
yeah, and I think he misinterpreted your question because
Really?
I think you guys were sort of talking past each other at that part. I think he
Wow.
was thinking
Nice.
why he ever watched it,
Nice
Good
one.
man.
dude.
and the family influence was why he had watched it ever. I don't think it was why he thought of it at that moment. At least that was the impression I got. I don't know.
Weird. Because my question was, what do you think caused you to think of that movie?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understood the question, but I don't think that's how he took it.
Right. Well, we ended it early. It's a short one, and I ended it early just because I didn't feel like he was understanding his own line of questioning, and
It's confusing stuff.
yeah.
You know, that's an excellent book of Sam Harrison. It's very short.
Very
that
short,
book on
yeah.
free will. That's really good.
I love that book.
I want to read the one he wrote on truth, the lies book.
Oh,
That's the only
Lie.
one of his I haven't read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that.
one, too.
I'm not sure I buy his argument on that actually, though.
Me neither. Lie when you don't get caught. You'll be okay.
Yeah, the on free will, the best question he has about free will is when he asks like what does it mean to say we have free will to choose that which didn't occur to us?
Right. Didn't occur to us.
Like we don't get to, yeah, like we're not. How are we free to choose what doesn't occur to us to choose?
Yeah, like the way he said it is like if I think of a movie, you're already limited to all the movies that exist, right? For one, and then you're
Right.
also limited again by how many
So
movies
once you've seen,
you've seen or been exposed to. There's also movies you've never been exposed to. Then you're limited again by
Memory.
memory. Movies that you've watched, and then your memory, your ability to recall, and then your ability to recall right now in this moment. Maybe you'll recall some other movies tomorrow. Like it'll be a different deck of cards in your head.
That we
Yeah.
have to search. That we have to search for our memory could be an indication that we're hunting for something. Yeah, we're hunting for an answer, right?
But
And then how do we know that our search was complete or comprehensive?
well, the way I like to think of it is, it's not as if you're visibly looking at a Rolodex in your mind and seeing multiple examples and then choosing one.
Right.
The card that comes out of the Rolodex is unbidden.
Yeah.
It shoots out, and you
Right.
catch it in your hand, and
right?
that's kind of.
Yeah. Right.
But that was a really interesting moment for me personally when I first heard the free will argument put forth, because I hadn't considered it before. And it was just like a kick to the front of the head. Like,
mind blowing, isn't it?
Because
Kind of.
he didn't even go the determinist route, but I imagined, a large cloud of gas in the middle of nowhere and two helium atoms moving closer together, and then eventually a star forming, and the whole thing down to Earth forming, and then eventually here am I sitting at the end of it. If you sit outside the world of religion or spirituality, then that is sort of how you got there, right? And where does free will come into that equation?
Family
Right.
pod.
Unless there's something truly random somewhere in the equation that we just can't
Yeah.
detect.
Well, even
Exactly.
randomness doesn't help, is his argument.
Yeah, he says there's
because you only know what was served
randomness,
up.
and no combination of those two things will get you the freedom that we're talking about. And the thought experiment that makes it most clear for me is, imagine you go back in time, atom for atom, exactly as it was, like however long ago you want, like 5 minutes ago if you want. Would you play out this hand any differently than we're playing it out right now? And if the answer is yes, is there a reason for why that is? And whatever reason you give, it's gonna be some answer which makes it either deterministic or random. And you can't get out of that unless there's some evidence of something that is outside of that. Oh, goodness, what am I going to do? I'm going to fold.
Deep stuff.
Yeah. But to me, I love...
Do you have a full house again, Reed? Just answer. It's okay. You can tell me.
Maybe. There are people, though, that say they don't like free will talks because it doesn't matter to them. Even if free will isn't true, you still have the illusion of free will, and the illusion is all that matters. And I think that is also worth investigating and unraveling with SE.
Yeah.
Since, from my perspective, it means a lot that this fiction that we've all been telling ourselves.
What do I do here?
Like,
How do we punish people?
Is based on it. Yeah,
Right.
we have this concept of punishment that is predicated on this.
Well,
there it is.
Sam already takes a step further.
I mean, I
to
guess
say
I
that
asked you, and you said, "Well, you could have been more unambiguous in your answer."
Aaron would have told us.
Yeah, Aaron would have told us.
Oh man.
Sam already takes a step further to say that he's convinced there isn't even the illusion of free will.
Yeah.
Even the illusion is false.
I'm not sure I understand that yet. I've been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, well, if you investigate your own mind, then it's not even illusory. But that then he starts to get deep into his whole the illusion of self as well, which that's one where I haven't arrived at yet. That needs further thinking for me. But,
I'd like to try to make a push for more climate change talks also. I want to talk more about climate change, and I want to talk more about vaccines.
With experts. Let's do it with experts. Let's move to experts.
Sure.
Why not? Let's move to experts and show how these questions can be answered by people who have the truth.
Betting 40
Possibly.
here.
Holy shit.
We may discover that they don't, or they're off, or their confidence is off.
You know, one claim I hear a lot, like people say it, like you'll hear reporting on the news, and it's almost like a given, is you'll hear people say things like, well, more extreme weather is a result of climate change. And I don't know, maybe that's true, but like, it's not obvious to me that is like a consensus from climate change science.
I just listened to a Skeptic's Guide to the Universe podcast just earlier today about that very issue. And they're in agreement that it is a scientific consensus, that it won't be necessarily more frequent storms globally, but it would be more severe storms globally, increasisingly.
Extremes getting more extreme, I think.
So more frequent extreme weather events, right?
Is that the way? Oh man, they had marbles in their mouth while they were trying to say it, but I think that it was going to be more frequent extreme events and not more frequent weather events. If that makes any sense.
How is the
Yeah, that
SGU
makes
these days? I actually stopped listening
The
a little while
SGU?
ago. Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know.
my favorite podcast.
Really, yeah, I kind of stepped away
Probably.
from those guys. A bit.
I listen to him now and again. Not every week.
Their
but
COVID coverage was great. It was spot on.
Right.
They were
Yeah.
predicting
Yeah.
things way ahead of time, and they
Yeah.
were right almost every time.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to them. I guess that would have been a good time to listen to them, for sure. But I felt like they were victims of their own success sometimes. I found them speaking really arrogantly and dismissively about things. And being
Yeah,
critical
you're
about
right.
people. And I just thought,
Right.
this is not the way, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had
especially
I got a
same-
bit tired of hearing
Yeah.
it. So.
Yeah.
what's his
like,
name?
Like
Dr.
sometimes they'll talk about someone, and maybe it's not even like a pseudoscience guy. It's just like someone who maybe is like a little bit outside of the center of mass of scientific opinion or something. I'll say, "Oh, don't listen to him. This guy, he." I'm like, "Well, on what basis are you saying that? Like, it's just your opinion, I guess, right?"
Yeah.
Be a little more cautious. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought they obviously got really popular, and that's great. And I found a lot of value in their podcasts for a long time. But yeah, something about their very flippant and dismissive and arrogant things that I would hear repeatedly, I was kind of like, eh. But maybe I'll give it a go again.
Damn it! No, I'm not the chip leader.
It's just really hard to find like good science-based news like that investigates stories. There's not a whole lot of competition for them. I don't know what else really to listen to.
Have you ever listened to the BBC Inside Science? That's a decent.
Do I want to call? What has Doug got? Ooh, 2 pair.
On the river? Nice.
Turn and river.
Ouch. Should know better when Doug's raising like that.
So it's Nathan, right? Abstract, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Have you ever listened to BBC Inside Science? It's not as much of a analytical deep dive.
I'm not
into
subscribed.
science news, but
I'm not subscribed, but I think I've heard little tidbits on
Well,
news
they-
articles and stuff.
yeah, they don't get as analytical as the SGU, but they do still talk about the science of the day sort of thing and offer, I believe, most of them are PhDs in whatever that are the presenters on it as well, right? So it's not coming from a scientifically lit up source. I don't know. I feel a little more confident in the way they're reporting science news than a lot of other sources. So I like listening to it.
Nice. Okay, BBC Science.
Yeah, Inside Science is called. They have lots of great podcasts. There's one by Jim Al-Khalili, and it's on the BBC, and it's called The Life Scientific. That's another awesome one. He talks to a different scientist each time and sort of talks to them about how they got into the life of science, and then talks to them about the main part of their research and their career. And it's fascinating. Some of the talks that come out of that are just amazing. I hear about science there that I would never hear about otherwise. It's pretty cool.
Should have bet.
Yeah, I did that before. I was hoping someone else would bet.
Yeah,
I guess I shouldn't do that, huh?
bad luck. Trying to over psychologize.
Yeah, I'm overthinking it maybe. Doug likes to psychologize, right, Doug?
Oh yeah, psychology is a great science.
Repeatable, testable, repeatable.
Testable.
Yep.
How much? No, I mean, how much could I have bet on that when you would have stayed in? I'm curious.
Someone's
Not
mic
too
is
much.
feeding back.
I'm scared of Doug.
It's Nathan's, his phone is nearby.
That was my beep. My beeping. Oh, my phone. God damn it. Every time. Well, anyway, the reason why I brought up SGU is just they had really fantastic coverage on some pretty intense climate change news today, which was then immediately followed up by some really intense. Well, they've been covering on some intense COVID stuff, but
Yeah.
it's all really important news. And then they cover some fun stuff too, like space travel and space flight. And
Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, the
to
IPCC released their report, right?
yes, I think the climate report, that was the one they were talking about with the frequency, the frequency of like larger storm events, and also their previous predictions of like global temperatures rising by 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2050 was off, and it's actually going to be 2.5 degrees Celsius, something like that. Which
We'll be all right.
yeah, well. And that's funny. It's like Celsius. Like, no wonder Americans can't figure this shit out because we know Fahrenheit. So, like, to us, they're like, 2 degrees. And we're also thinking about
you figured it out. That's like the whole. That's the whole misunderstanding. Now,
That doesn't seem that so bad.
Well, we're thinking about our own personal situation, like, and what 2 degrees means to me in my living room. We're not thinking about like what 2 degrees means everywhere. It's like a tremendous amount.
You got to keep in mind, like for people who are my age and older, almost every prediction about climate change has made by non-scientists has fallen flat, dead false. And people remember that. Like all the dire stories of what will happen was talked about in the 70s, maybe not the 70s, but the 80s and 90s. And none of that happened. And so you can understand why they're hesitant to all of a sudden start believing in the predictions.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, you don't even have to look at the predictions. You can just look at the graphs, look at like the last 10 years.
But it's the same with the
Every year.
vaccine thing. Like until people start dying, not much is going to be done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Timescale is a unique problem with climate change as well.
Apparently that report, by the way, was really comprehensive. Like they talk about all sorts of stuff, including the kind of impact that climate change will have on the poor versus how much it'll have on the wealthy. And it won't really have nearly as much as an effect on the wealthy. Though just wait until we start having climate change refugees where people are leaving countries because they can't stay there anymore because it's too hot.
Bangladesh.
And they're going to be migrating to other places on the planet.
Coastal areas as well, right?
If that prediction's false, then I'd be happy to find out that that's false. Though that's a prediction in the study. We're going to see more migrants.
Well, the thing is, it's really hard to say, like, for someone who's skeptical about climate change, they can say, well, there's been long periods of famine and heat in countries before.
Yes.
What makes you think that this is directly tied to climate change?
Yeah, that's like the number one argument against climate change is, well, the climate's always changing. What are you talking about?
Well, the evidence for me would be, and this is where, I wouldn't say this to them because it wouldn't be very SE, it'd be more debate. But the core samples that they do where they drill through the ice sheets and they pull the cores out.
Yep.
The last time that they had carbon capture on the surface of new ice at the same rate, to the same density, was found 2 million years deep in the ice layer.
Then you get the Ken Ham response to that there, right?
You have the what? I'm sorry.
You get the Ken Ham response to that from people.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Were you there?
Right?
Were you there 2 million years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, wouldn't that be an argument against man-made global or climate change? Because 2 million years ago, same levels of CO2.
Right.
So
I'd have to
definitely
look
not caused
more
by
into the
humans.
thing.
Or
It
Homo
could have
sapiens.
just been a volcano eruption.
Well, honestly, I mean, I've had a lot of discussions with people who you'd consider them like anti-climate change people, like they don't believe in climate change. And I think
Daniel Ray.
no, like people I work with or whatever, and
I know.
it kind of goes like this. It's like, well, climate change isn't happening. And then maybe you get the conclusion, well, actually, it is happening. Okay, well, it's happening, but it's not because of humans. Oh, yeah, okay, maybe it is because of humans, but
China.
there's nothing we can do about it. Well, okay, maybe there is something we can do about it, but it costs too much. Well, okay, I mean, maybe it doesn't cost too much, but so it's like this series of it's like they have a
Isn't that what's called being convinced?
Or moving the goalposts.
What would convince them?
Well, it sounds like they're being convinced slowly.
Well, they're convinced that there's
no,
costs.
it's like a defense in depth, right? Like it's like I'm going to contend that there isn't even climate change, and then if you manage to show that there is, then okay, I'll give up that wall, but I've got the next wall behind it. It's that kind of.
Well, yeah, you have to convince that not only is it happening, but that it's bad.
Right. Yeah.
Some would argue that climate change, the Earth heating up, is a good thing.
Yeah, and that's actually not that bad an argument. More CO2 does mean plants will be able to fixate carbon dioxide easier. Although on the other hand, it may be more difficult to grow crops in some regions depending on extreme weather.
Like Canada and Russia are going to be.
Yeah.
You can't grow crops if there's a drought. The same report said that there's going to be a 1 in 10. The odds of having a 1 in 10 disastrous drought would be more likely. I can't remember. I shouldn't repeat statistics unless I'm reading them.
Yeah.
But right now, Canada can only have one crop a year because it's too cold. Kansas can have 3 because it's warmer. Can you imagine if all of Canada turned into Kansas? There'd be so much food production. But yeah, if there's a drought, that would ruin things. But
Nathan, what was that report again? Because I looked it up before.
The IPCC. It's the International Panel on Climate Change. They just released it this past week.
Yeah,
it's really thorough from what they.
I remember pulling it up. It's like 3,000 pages or something, and very slow on my computer to render.
Right. Maybe. Yeah. It's probably chock full of good information, talking points. Talking points aren't really very useful, though, for a street epistemologist.
Good luck, Joe.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, they could be, I guess, if you were if you were to discover X, Y, and Z was true, would that be effective?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you could be prepared with the answer that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why, that's what sort of makes it okay. If they value the truth and you're capable of potentially revealing it to them, or at least a close approximation of the truth, then isn't that one of the best things you could do for somebody?
Mm-hmm.
So it's murky.
Yeah.
I saw that little smirk, Diamond.
What?
I saw my raise and
Yeah, I like it. Respect.
Respect.
Okay, I'll call.
I'm not having a good night tonight, guys. This is not fun.
Oh, Joe's out.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I lost all the winnings I made. I'm pretty much breaking.
Yeah. The fact that
I'm actually still in the hole, too.
So.
Who's up? Reed? Reed is up. Reed and Doug. Damn, Reed.
Those full houses, I mean, don't even really have to play.
247.
Did you
A
get
couple
those,
players here. A couple
Doug?
players.
Man.
It's that time of night. Start going hard.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna go
exactly.
out on this, but I'm gonna go for it.
Send it.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, that's what happened.
Wow.
That's what happened.
Watch out. Anthony's coming.
I thought Diamond might fold on that too.
Oh boy.
This is nuts.
That's so huge. What are you
Oh,
doing?
he
What
raised
are you
me.
doing?
What is going on here? Nobody has a 3.
Oh my god. Just keep
Okay,
going.
Anthony,
Just
Anthony
keep
has a
going.
straight. Diamond has jacks or something. I got kings.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, that was nice.
Show your
I
jacks.
figured you had me beat on that, Doug.
Really?
But I knew it had to be kings or aces.
What'd you have?
I had
Queens or
queens.
jacks?
Straight.
Queens, yeah.
Queens, yeah.
What did you have? Oh, you answered. You had 7 what?
A low straight, 2 up.
No, but what was your 7 what? What was your other card?
The 7 got dealt, I think, at the end.
No, you had a 7.
I had a
Didn't you?
7? No,
Yeah.
well, either a 6 or a 7 got dealt.
What did you?
What
What,
did your-
what
what
was
was
your
your
2
hand?
cards?
What was your card?
What was
Do you remember what your cards were?
2, 3, 4, 6, 7, I think.
I'm checking
Wow.
I'm checking the log.
Check
the log.
Seven
Yeah,
two. 7-2 he won.
7-2. Okay.
He
You had
he
both ends of the
called
straight.
my huge raise with 7 deuce.
Yes, he did.
He's the man.
Damn.
I got it on the river, if
Damn.
I'm not mistaken. Or it was the card before the river. Flop.
Wow.
The turn.
The turn.
I'm not bitter.
You're killing me with these 2 bets.
I'm trying to make it to midnight here.
Yeah. Well, now you're like almost a chip leader, almost.
I'm up now. Yeah, that was a big hand.
I'd be like over 2,000 if you would have folded.
No way.
Poor Diamond. I mean, well,
Yeah.
he was screwed no matter what. But
I was, I don't feel bad about losing on queens versus kings. That's what I feel like I lost to.
yeah, that was a fair fight. But Anthony, deuce 7. Shame.
Uh-oh, all in. What's Diamond have? Big slick?
I need to double up.
Yeah, I'm willing to give you some money.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Come on, Anthony, you owe me
I do? For what?
for that last hand.
Oh.
Let's help Diamond quintuple up or something.
You didn't show your
I'm
card.
passing a hat around.
Aaron.
Oh, Aaron.
Well, I'm
No
gonna
party.
leave this battle.
All
Not with
right.
the, not
Isolation,
Well,
unless
I'm
Anthony's
so
going
glad I folded.
If you called my
Hand.
bet with deuce 7,
I'm
you got some solid
tempted.
risk.
I'm tempted. Okay.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Oh, run it twice. Run it
twice.
twice.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Sure.
I'm gonna probably regret having.
Should I
folded.
show my hand?
What?
Yeah.
9-3.
9-3. Pair of
Well,
eights.
you had me dominated, Diamond. I had 10-5. So Diamond needs a
Oh, come on.
5 or a
Not
queen.
happening.
Nah. I lost.
Damn.
Good job, Aaron. Well, that's what he wants.
9-3.
Oh, there's a queen.
Oh, there's a queen.
There's a 3.
Oh,
There's
but
a
eight.
3.
Set of 8s.
Oh, and I got a
Oh.
flush chance.
Oh, you got it
No.
again.
Ah,
Think.
Nice.
Big pot for Aaron.
well done. Well
Ooh,
done.
Good
You
job.
needed that.
I needed it. It's for my ego.
Damn.
Good
Bold.
job. Oh.
Welcome to
Ah, yeah, we
Yeah,
got 30 minutes. I'll jump back in.
Any
Yeah.
2 cards for Anthony. Any 2 cards.
I gotta pay my dues.
I'm not the
Don't
best
raise it
poker
before,
player.
Matt.
I told
Don't
you
raise
guys.
it. Oh,
At this point, I do it just to spite you.
he's my kryptonite.
Too expensive.
I'm sure Anthony and I would donate these winnings to SEI, but that's illegal, I'm sure.
The one and only time we win, now we're gonna get all.
Oh,
You could
speaking
just
of
buy me
donations,
Going
presents.
back in, Diamond.
You could just buy me gifts and presents. And stuff.
Yeah, I'm in.
Just as good. Just as good.
when
Same
I
difference. All under the table.
I bought the creators of this website an expensive coffee, and I wrote them a note saying like, "Hey, get this tournament stuff going," and they wrote me back and they said, "We're working on it right now." So
Oh, shit.
Nice.
yeah,
That's good that they're responsive like that.
You literally bought them coffee, not the like the website, buy me a coffee.
I did the whatever. Yeah, the donate a coffee button on their website. I don't think it was for a coffee, but
Okay, cool.
Damn. Oh, I should have looked out for those 7s. Damn it. Yeah. Whoops.
Oh, Joe's back in. Good. And Aaron.
What? Fine.
Okay, someone's
Well,
on.
welcome back, says
Okay.
Diamond.
Well then.
I started so strong earlier.
Well, let's see what
Whatever. I'll
happens.
go in for 40. I mean,
Should I just go all in?
yeah,
Might have
I
to
would.
stop.
Sure, let's
Go
do
ahead.
it.
No.
Wipe everyone out.
Big hand.
Good luck all in. Good luck all in.
Here it comes.
Do it.
Here it
Here it
comes.
comes. Here it comes.
Oh,
Oh!
Wow.
Okay.
what restraint? Restraint.
Someone has a queen.
Someone.
Fine, I'll do it.
Oh.
What does it mean, Doug?
What does anything mean?
Diamond.
I think
Diamond.
he realized if he doesn't bet, everyone's going to stay in. He won't win.
God, no! Fine. Oh, I just threw away my money. Oh, well. I'm glad I folded. Fuck this.
Diamond has a queen. Reed has a queen. Who has the better queen, I wonder? Oh, aces.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
I'm fucked.
Got it.
Oh, well,
Wow.
thanks.
Same hand.
Thanks, poker software.
Yeah.
See, Diamond, how easy poker is once you get aces.
I feel better now.
Yeah.
It's like
Wow. That was like your first game buying back in, too. Shit.
No, I've bought in. I always go for another 10.
it's like how to
Usually.
win at poker. Step 1, get aces.
Well, but yeah, I think everybody was in that pot and he still won it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, I've
aces
got a
are-
There
pair
they
of
are
aces.
again.
Oh, I shouldn't have
Yeah.
said that.
Oh, on Reed's channel, they're playing back the kings versus 7 deuce versus queens.
Oh, man.
I guess I should have gone all in. Then Anthony would have folded.
This is
big chips in there.
exciting. Yeah.
Reed's representing a big 6.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, good fold. What do I do?
What do you mean?
No one else is betting, so I'm like, I gotta bet.
Oh, when you have trip aces?
Yeah.
You just got a continuation bet, and if people have it, have something, they have something. Whose channel is that, Matt?
Yours. Well, actually, it was the review that
Oh,
the
yeah.
Epistemology channel did of one of your videos.
Oh, I can't select.
Diamond, why aren't you showing your face? There you go.
So most of the time when that happens, it's because there's a little one that's stirring out of bed and I have to go play poker in their room.
I'll play with you. Since I have such a good read on you.
Thanks.
Careful. Yeah. I would have had 10s and 6s.
I would have had you.
Yep. I believe it.
Why is it including the timestamp in it?
Why is it?
Yeah, it's got like 2340 after it. Why is that in there? In the link?
In the link?
Yeah.
Maybe
Look in the
that's the
box.
last. That's probably the last time Matt watched it, and so remembers.
Oh, that's the time the message was sent. Okay.
Oh,
That's just showing up in the copy and paste. So
does anybody fold anymore?
What?
that guy.
I
Is
know,
folding
right?
a lost art? Oh, there. Reed folds.
There we go.
Matt
What did you
never
like about
folds.
that review, Matt?
Oh, Well, I liked the original video,
That helps.
but I liked the review because I liked the discussion actually between Anthony, you, and Doug about like how he can do certain things on his channel that you can't do in other conversations because people are calling in expecting to talk about religion, right? And he can ask like very direct questions that
Mhm.
Yeah. Like Dolly pointed out, like a lot of times that might damage rapport in other situations, but
Right.
it's
Yeah, I think Doug knows that. Like,
yeah.
this probably shouldn't be repeated with your mom. I would say most viewers probably get that too. No, or does that have to be more explicit?
His
Oh no.
viewers.
Yeah, my viewers.
Viewers being confused, like, yeah. It seems like most of the callers you get say that they applied the techniques that you were showcasing to themselves. That's what I hear a lot from a lot of your callers.
Okay.
Whoa. In stretch. 17
Well,
minutes.
let's see. What are the odds here if Doug has a queen? No.
I bet he had a 9.
I had a 9. He might have had a 9 with a high card that would have won.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a cigar tonight, and I have a dog shit sandwich breath. It's bothering me.
What's that smell like?
You know, there's this awesome thing. There are toothbrushes and mouthwash.
It takes about a day and a half to go away.
Oh my god.
I don't know why I do it.
Let's see here.
What kind of sandwich?
Dog shit sandwich.
With mayo, or do you take it straight?
You can imagine it's not the dry, barky kind. It's the moist, peanut buttery. I think it sticks around for a while.
I'm not making that pun.
Oh, I said peanut butter and your ears picked up? What's going on?
No, you said the dry, barky kind for a dog shit sandwich.
Pun declined.
Damn.
I hate the big blind.
So how often do you guys play these games?
Weekly.
Once a week.
Actually, I play twice a week.
Oh yeah, right.
I have a Pine Creek Wednesday night thing and Sunday here.
Doug and I have a problem.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what's weird, Rita, is I probably could go 3 times a week.
I know. Don't tempt us.
Are your Wednesday nights full? Do you normally have a full table? Yeah.
Sometimes it's full. Sometimes it's very similar to this.
God damn it.
What happened?
I'm cold. I got scared. Oh, son of a bitch. I hate it when I fold and then, like, on the river, it, like, turns out perfect for me. Oh. Yeah.
I thought you might have the straight, so I wasn't willing to bet on the
Would you
river.
have, how big would I have to bet for you to fold that?
Probably the pot. Probably more than the pot.
Yeah.
Remember, we have 13 minutes left here, so this changes the
Let's
game a little bit. You know?
Get to betting.
I
Yeah.
want my $7 back.
Who'd you give it to?
Buy out
Read.
anytime.
You ever see that movie Better Off Dead?
No.
It's kind of a weird movie.
Read means business on this hand. Ooh. Aaron is 666.
Another full house.
Yep.
That reminds me. The first time I went in to get a tattoo, I was just freshly deconverted, and I really wanted to get a burning church.
Don't do it, Matt.
Holy shit.
And my tattoo artist luckily convinced me out of it. But I was like, I think I'm gonna get this fucking burning church so I can piss off all my relatives.
You were gonna get what?
A burning church.
Oh my goodness, that's bad. Just for the record, I'm against arson.
Yeah, you were asked that by a Canadian Catholic. You answered correctly, apparently.
Do I mean, this is just me, but like, I don't understand personally, like, why anyone would get a tattoo. Seems like you're just at some point you're gonna regret it. Things are gonna change. You'll be a different
Be
person.
one of the cool kids, Matt.
Yeah.
That's why you design your own tattoo the way you want it.
I don't like
It's just
anything
so
that much.
it's so irrevocable. I would never make a change like that.
No, you can laser it off.
Yeah.
You're starting to sound a little bit too religious for me, Matt.
He's not saying you're stupid, Aaron. He's just saying you're
Yes, I
stupid.
am.
I'm smart.
I can't fold for two, can I?
You know, the Japanning on this, like, you know,
Heart.
I do a lot with Japan and stuff, but like in Japan, there's like a taboo against tattoos.
Well, I live in America. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, then by all means. So, like, if you have a tattoo in Japan, you like.
No, I just feel like you're just gonna spout more bigotry, so I don't want to hear it. Okay.
I'm
I
sorry.
know all about the Yakuza and how
Yeah.
people are scared of tattoos over there, and you can't get a job if you got tattoos on your face and your neck.
Yeah.
But luckily, I'm not an idiot.
Read.
Is- You
Read.
can't even go to like an onsen, like a hot spring or a.
Oh
public-
shit!
Oh,
What did you think I had? What do you have? You didn't have any.
I had 2 aces.
I had,
Oh
I
my
had 2
god!
pair on the flop. Which
$4. I got,
that run of
4
hearts.
cents.
Yeah, 4 cents. Yeah,
I had 40 cents.
40 cents.
Oh, not this round. Shit. Oh, man.
What happened?
I wish I had a 4.
Doug probably has 2 4s in his hand, and he folded. Well, I guess Beta 2 wins it.
I honestly think that it's just something temporal that you can enjoy it while it lasts, just like
Okay.
like how you can use your penis, right? Just enjoy it while it lasts.
Well, I guess I never looked at it that way, but you raise a good point. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I had an experience, well, not exactly about that, but
That's
was at
okay.
I was at the pool today with my daughter, and it's an outdoor pool, and they have they have diving boards. They have a high dive and a low dive. And I realized, like, I hadn't been on a high dive in a couple years. Like, the last time I was on a high dive was, like, maybe 2 years ago. And I said, my daughter was using the diving boards, and I said, oh, you should go up on the high dive. And she did. She didn't want to go, so she climbed back down. And eventually I said, no, you just have to do it. You just have to jump and go. And then we made this promise. She said, okay, well, I'll go, like, 3 times, then you have to go. I'm like, okay. So she went 3 times, and then I climbed up the diving board, and I'm like, this is like higher than I remember. I don't think I want to dive off, And I was wondering to myself, though, if like this is one of the things that comes with age, is you like are less willing to take risks like that, even like not that important risks.
Well, that's an important risk because you're still working against, surface tension and gravity.
Good luck, Joe.
Thank you.
I mean, you could seriously hurt yourself, especially as we get up in age. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I got knees, that I have problems with.
Oh, diamond, you meanie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But like, when you're
6
diving
minutes to
off,
go.
Perfect timing.
when you're diving off the diving board, like you never think this is the last time I'm going to dive off the high dive, right? Like I wasn't thinking that 2 years ago. Maybe I would have thought about it differently had I recognized that.
Well, the water's going to catch you.
Well, yeah, I know, and I probably would have been okay, but like,
Yeah, it's like a nice, soft, cushiony landing.
Depending on the height.
Water's soft, right?
Depends what speed you're moving when you hit it.
those things are like 3 meters high. The high dive.
We have this joke in skiing that you can't get hurt in the air when you're sort of sizing up takeoff. Going bigger and doing cliffs. Can't get hurt in the air.
Yeah.
Can you see the cards, Joe?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I enjoy skiing, actually. I'm not going to give that up.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I want to
You need
catch
to
a
be my
jack.
guide. Come out
I
the
need a
whistle.
jack. Oh,
Oh, yeah. Everyone's welcome. I've got 12 seasons of skiing experience here, so I can guide you fairly well, I think.
Did you hear a few years ago there was a ski guide who led a group of, backcountry off-piste skiers into a crevasse? They all died.
Yeah. I think people fail to really appreciate the danger in even resort skiing in avalanche areas, let alone going outside of resort and avalanche areas. There's a reason, you have to do a lot of study and have a lot of equipment to do that stuff safely. Well, even then, it's not safe. Yeah, scary stuff out there. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but people die here every year. There's never a winter without deaths to avalanches. Where do you ski, Matt, or where have you skied before?
Well, I'm from Ohio, so we have a local place here in Ohio that I go. But I've been to Colorado before. I
Nice.
skied at Keystone, and there's also a place out here outside of Buffalo called Holiday Valley that I go to. It's really nice. It's not like you've got a 5,000-foot vertical mountain, but it's still a lot of fun.
Keystone pretty busy in
Yay,
Colorado?
13. I have $1.
Keystone, yeah, they were pretty busy. I mean, I was there it was many years ago now. I also skied in Japan.
Oh, yeah, see, that's where I definitely want to go and ski one day. I've been to Japan before, but I haven't skied there, so definitely on the cards.
There are a lot of good places to go.
5 minutes.
Everybody calls.
Yeah, Whistler's a bit of a shit show, honestly, in the winter. It's so busy here.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of disastrous, really, to be honest. It's not the best place to holiday if you're going in cold. Like, if you don't have somebody local to show you where to go, and it's a massive place, and there's tons of people. And, yeah.
What about, is Blackcomb any better? I know they're, next to each other, but...
Yeah, so they're interconnected. You're typically talking about both when you say Whistler. It's it's all the one resort. I prefer, of the two mountains, I prefer Blackcomb. But yeah, they're really interconnected, essentially. So yeah, but it's a big mountain. I think it's the biggest in North America. Big resort. I mean,
really?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Lake Tahoe has a bunch of resorts. I don't know if you would count that as one, but it's a pretty
Yeah,
big
as far as
spot.
singular resorts go, I'm pretty sure Whistler Blackcomb is the biggest in NA. I could be wrong with that.
I think you're just trying to push me out. You would have bet more last round if you had that 7.
Don't psychologize too much.
Oh!
Good pick.
Oh,
You're
Wait,
still alive.
How come
Nathan.
that split? So you got so much
That's-
more than me. It's not
You didn't have as
fair.
much money. Sorry.
Because you're poor.
Damn it.
You did good though.
Oh
Fine.
shit! Do I want
What
to
is
lose
this,
my
last hand?
$7 in the last minute?
Come on.
All right, fuck it.
Yes, that's the attitude.
Damn
Come
it.
on. Are you here to
Oh,
play
is this last
poker, or are you
hand?
here
Did I
to
miss out?
piss around?
That's okay. I'm okay with this full.
It is the biggest, Aaron. It's 10% bigger than Park City, which is number 2. So Park City is 7,300 acres and Whistler is 8,200 acres.
Dang.
Pretty big as well.
We'll go 2 more hands.
Matt needs
After
to get
this?
to Matt needs to get to 1,500 to break even.
Yeah, yes, I do. I was close. I was at 1,300 until that.
Actually, no, you need 2,000 to break even.
No. I only bought in 3 times. 1,500.
How can you?
Just do it. Just go on.
I rebought twice.
And why have you been felt? Oh no, that's right, because of that start. Yeah, I understand. Remember that start that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
fucked up.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
You need a
110.
You need 10.
110. No!
No.
Oh, you're running it twice. Oh,
What?
you didn't run it twice.
Oh,
I
I
didn't-
didn't
I
run it
didn't.
twice.
I chose not to that time.
Oh shit. Alright.
What is this? The last hand? What's going on here?
Second to last hand.
Second
Penultimate hand.
Oh, damn
I mean, this is decent. Not good enough.
So who else has a YouTube channel here I can subscribe to?
Your standards have
Yeah.
go down as it gets closer to the end of the game, right?
Well, there's Reed has Cordial Curiosity, Anthony, of
Yep.
course. Diamond doesn't have a channel. Do you,
Yeah, he
Diamond?
does.
Well, what's it called?
It's called.
How are you not a subscriber, Doug?
Maybe I am.
I'm so disappointed. Yeah,
What's it
Diamond
called?
Discourse.
Diamond Discourse.
On that too.
It's like orders of magnitude less than yours.
Diamonds of Discourse.
Alright, y'all. Well, it's been fun as always. Good conversation.
Okay, see you, Nathan.
Yeah.
I should have quit when I
Bye.
had
See you, Nathan.
when I made $60. Or no, wait. Was it 60?
See you, Nathan.
It was 40. Yeah. Okay, bye.
Really, Ron?
Bye.
Yeah.
take care.
Diamond, there is no Diamonds of Discourse channel.
Diamond
No,
Discourse.
Diamond Discourse.
Yep. Matt, you want me to raise, right? So you can re-raise? Would that help?
Okay, I subscribed. I'm number 48.
Thanks.
Or 47. I don't know. I'll pass it.
Shows 48 for me.
No,
now.
I'm 48. Is this last hand?
Last hand.
Yep.
Fuck it. Oh, no.
Ugh, come
That's the
on.
attitude.
And no, I'm not doing that. No, not fucking that.
What's your favorite conversation, Diamond, on your channel?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Who do you
Yeah, I
talk
don't
with?
have too many. Just people on the street. Yeah, I'm not picky about what I post. I post pretty much everything I record because I don't have that much time to go out. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's
The
good.
most recent
Rawer
one
the
was
better.
yeah.
Well, more
The recent one was
entertaining.
interesting. It was on climate change, and he was
Richard?
yeah, he believed in climate change. But yeah, the evidence he talked about. Oh man. Okay. Last hand. No thanks. Yeah, he cited the weather in his memory as the reason for accepting climate change. And I tried to press him on that, and he stuck to it, which was interesting.
God damn it.
I would
Hmm.
have won that.
Oh, well, have a great fucking night.
There he is.
Mic
Oh.
drop.
No. Oh no.
And send him a really nice invite next week, dude.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. He's probably gonna cry in his room for 2 hours, but that still was funny.
Yeah. Look at the sad
That's a
face
beautiful-
too.
That's a beautiful backdrop that you had there, Diamond.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
I'm spoiled in the area that I live in. Like Maryland is pretty gorgeous, and Columbia is this like, yeah, purpose built 70s era, well planned place. So it's cool.
Put in a funding request and get some good audio equipment.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Honestly, the thing that's stopping me the most is the okay, audio equipment is important, but I am editing on my phone, literally.
Oh my god!
Oh
Yeah,
my.
I have a
Really?
Chromebook, and I don't. Yeah, I would have to get a full on. Actually, you know what I really want is like a
Stream?
computer I can just remote into to use, because like we just had a shared SE like editing server. I would feel bad about like buying a whole computer just to do a few videos every once in a while, but I don't know.
Buy a server that people can use?
Yeah, like if you had a shared server you could remote in with the software installed that people could just use
Oh.
to edit
Yeah.
on their own
Oh.
time. It's cheaper than paying someone to edit regularly, you know? I don't know. You'd have to figure out how to share the passwords or something like that, but
And then you upload your raw files to the server, and then you're manipulating them.
yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know if multiple people could be logged in at the same time to use it, or if you'd have to like book time on it or something.
And
but-
what's the advantage that you wouldn't need to have an expensive machine and video editing software to edit the
Exactly.
videos? Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and it's a shared, like instead of having everybody apply for funds for a single computer that they don't use often, it's just a shared resource.
The file upload would be the challenging part, depending on
Yeah.
storage.
what people are using. But yeah,
And
Yeah.
they render a 16 gigabyte file, on top of the 50 gigabyte files they've uploaded.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to
Wow.
cap
it's
their
the
storage
up and down
space.
data that becomes a challenge. But other than that, I actually did that when I had to go back to Australia last time. I got my housemate to turn my computer on because I wanted to do some editing, and I did it. I just logged into my computer remotely on my mum's laptop and did some editing.
What? Was there lag
That
or
way,
anything?
yeah. There's a very small amount of mouse lag, but it's only just that.
Oh my gosh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder if there's an interest in that beyond just you though, Diamond.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it was available, other people might suddenly become interested in it.
All right.
Hmm.
I guess I could put in a funding request to host it. I'd set it up. There we go.
I could genuinely set up a test run on the spare computer I have, Diamond, if you want.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a subscription to Adobe and all that. And,
Oh, that'd be
we can
great.
At least do a test of concept if you want.
Yeah, I'll DM you. Then I
That'd
can
be
try it
neat.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Then we could put a link to that on the SE website, maybe, or there would need to be some sort of validation process to give people access to it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you wouldn't want to
They'd
just
have
make
to be
it
somehow
broadly.
established.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say your name on Discord was, Joe? I forgot.
Oh, it's the Bloody Nine. I might just change it to that's the tag I use gaming and stuff. I might just change it to Joe. I'll see, but yeah,
The Bloody Nine. Okay.
the Bloody Nine. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat here.
I'm going to clip Aaron's last comment there as a teaser for how much fun we have here.
Yes, that was really good.
You all have a good fucking night.
Reed's gonna make sure he sends him that
I'm gonna replay that on the stream.
4 cents, 40 cents.
Ooh, I'm up today too.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everyone.
Right.
Right. Nice.